Facebook, and then Twitter, and then Mixer, and then Twitch.
Well, that's exciting.
All the things.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's all of them. Welcome everyone to D&D Tonight. My name is Bradley, and with us we have a bunch of exciting people that we're going to get into. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to Corporate Streams and Cantrip Maps for sponsoring our game. We're going to go ahead and go around just based off left to right and just say what your name is and then who are you playing race and class today. Some of you are returning, some of you are new, and let's go ahead and hang on. I need to make sure I checked all my boxes. I do this at the beginning of all of them. You think I'd be better at this by now. Intro players. Nope, this is it. All right. On my left is Rachel. Rachel, who are you playing today?
I am playing a mountain dwarf named Maka.
Alrighty. And next we have Laura.
I'm Laura, and I'm playing a rogue gnome named Kerbal.
Delightful. Mr. Nolan, what have you brought to the table today?
I'm Nolan. I am playing Corin Harass. He is a male Kalashtar paladin.
Marvelous. And finally, we have a new guest to the show, Caroline. Hi, Caroline.
Hey there. Yeah, I'm Caroline. I will be playing Abra, who is a dragonborn warlock.
And with this awesome cast, I wanted to go ahead and kind of explain how After Hours functions. Well, you could watch every episode beginning to end, and I recommend that you do so. Every story is meant to feel self-contained. It is a high-risk, high-reward operation where your gold and your items will be upped, but the danger itself will also max that as well. Match that. It's been a day. We're all going to be starting off in the beautiful, towering city of Sharn. You guys are currently on the continent Khovaire and in the country of Breland, which is in fact monarchy. Sharn, while not the city's capital, is sort of the jewel of the world. It is a highly magical area where quality of life improvements are made simply by matriarchs to make things just easier throughout the entirety of your life. If you need to send a message to another part of the country, there are people who are available to cast sending for you. If you need to transport yourself around, a sky barge can take you to any of the many districts all around Sharn. It's a place of beauty. It is a conglomerate and indeed itself a mixing pot of all different races and all different kinds of life. You guys have jumped around Khovaire quite a bit, traveling from the Lazar principalities to Valinar, indeed to Drome, the monster country itself. And though wherever you were beforehand, you have all been brought to the Clifftop Adventurers Guild, where indeed all of you do have membership to. We're actually going to start this one with Abra herself. Abra, you awake in the Clifftop district in this beautiful Clifftop Adventurers Guild hall, which overlooks the entirety of Sharn. And what a sight it is. You can wake up and look out your window and see towers galore that separate Dora Central Plateau and almost all the way to the other side of this massively built upon city. Its clouds actually come over a few different rooftops and obscure the other areas. You're so high up. What would you like to do today? You have your own room that you own pretty much in this Clifftop Guild Hall.
I'm gonna wake up, do some stretches, hopefully a few push-ups, trying to improve my not very high strength class that I have. And then I'm gonna make it downstairs and head out and look for some breakfast.
Okay. Indeed, your way into the main contracting hall where Galtier Susamante, the commissioner of quests, basically resides and gives out work. You come down into this sort of mess hall to notice that it's oddly for this time of the morning, relatively empty. Indeed, you can also find other such people there, such as Kerbal, the gnome rogue. You also see the Kalashtar Corin, and you also see Micah, it was a mountain dwarf barbarian, if I'm not mistaken. And while you know all of these people, you haven't really had long conversations with them. You know them by approximation and proximity, but they're the only other people in this hall. What's everyone having for breakfast?
Kerbal is having a lot of sausage and eggs and just like everything and every color cereal together combined.
It's like continental breakfast, just like those dispensers at like certain hotels.
He loves those.
You've exceeded the 3-bowl limit. Mika, what are you having? What does a barbarian's breakfast look like?
Well, probably a lot of eggs and sausage as well, bacon, lots of like hearty meats, but she's very thankful for all of the sacrifices that the animals made to provide this meal so that she may be strong and protect those around her. But she bulks up, not quite Gaston, 5 dozen eggs, but definitely a lot of protein.
Alrighty. And Corin, what is the diet of a paladin look like?
3 slices of wheat bread, hand churned salted butter only. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. Abra, what'll it be?
Well, I need lots of black coffee because
Okay.
I'm not really a morning person. And I heard that oatmeal kind of gives you a sense of calm. I read it somewhere, so I'll be having some oatmeal.
Okay. You were able to all grab your respective breakfasts, coffee up, and as you guys are enjoying this brief meal, you can look out to the day with a sort of sense of hope of things to come, which as soon as you enter into the guild hall proper, you realize that there's anything but. It is utter chaos. The other members of this guild are running around. You see people with swords on their back and grabbing as many of their belongings and putting them into sacks and leaving as fast as they can. You see other people like crowded around and like talking about certain things like in hushed tones, looking over their shoulders to see like if there is indeed anyone listening. As you get closer and closer, I would like everyone to go ahead and make a perception check. Let's see what y'all hear.
Sorry, I missed. Make a
Perception check.
14.
14.
sound isn't working.
Oh no.
I got an 8.
An 8. Okay.
15 over here.
15. Okay. There you go. I don't know if Caroline can hear us or if the stuff just, cut out there for a second. And alrighty. So Kerbal and Corin, the two of you are able to kind of hear from overhead something about like whispers of like, so do we know? 6. Excellent. Thank you much. The two of you are able to overhear that there's some kind of like whispers of war. Like, do we know who did it? Do you know if anyone made it out alive? There seems to be kind of like a discussion of like uncertainty about all things, but the most that you get from this is that something terrible has happened to a nearby town. What would you guys like to do?
Any particular languages this is being spoken in? What are we talking in common here, or what exactly am I overhearing?
What you're hearing is, I mean, it is in fact common. You would probably, you can determine that there's a town called Zilspar. And as like some people like join into certain groups, they're like, hey, what happened? They're like, did you hear? Zilspar's gone. It's the town's not there anymore. All right, hang on. Let's see. Caroline, can you hear us? No. Oh, well.
I'm going to take my remaining 2 pieces of toast and my cup of fresh pressed orange juice, and I'm going to wander over to one of those tables, and I'm just going to casually, kind of, oops, I dropped my mace on the table and sit down and kind of slide my way into conversation and say, Zilspar, huh? It's gone. It was there a few days ago. It couldn't have just up and walked away. What exactly are you implying happened to this here?
All that's been able, it's a Goliath that answers you. Big bulky dude with several layers of armor placed about him. In fact, it looks like almost a patchwork knight. There are parts of it that look like it is half-plated breastplate armor, and then there are other portions of it that look like splint mail that's just been wrapped together haphazardly. He kind of looks over. He says, "It's a crater now. Supposedly, sometime within the last day or so, someone came over into the town, and there was a bright light. Witnesses say that it might have been an explosion of some sort. We don't know. But we're hearing fewer and fewer things. Many did not get out alive. It happened very quickly."
Now, color me interested, but you seem to be a pretty large fella there yourself with a rather shiny collection of armor. You sure you didn't pass through and accidentally? Not saying that you did it, but that's just an explosion. You didn't misstep or anything. I mean, you're a big guy. Listen. I'm not implying that you did it, but
he opens up his satchel and he throws out a kind of a bundle of paper, and he says, "I wasn't there. Zilspar's maybe a day's ride away from here at most. I read it here," and you see it is an edition of the Sharn Inquisitive, a local newspaper for the city. And the first page of it says, "Zilspar gone. Who's to blame?" And it's just a picture.
Snatch the paper off the table and under my breath mutter, "Day's ride, more like half a day's stride." And I flip through the paper.
You see that? This one runs on his hands as well, like a beast of burden. The Goliath kind of gets close. He's like, "Listen, the spot that you're sitting in, it's taken now. You can get up."
Yes, it is occupied. I'm in the middle of just trying to catch up on the daily news here. Wonderful continental breakfast they've got going on here.
He rolls his eyes, stands up, and the rest of his group, high school fashion, leaves you alone at the table. I mean, that was my experience in high school. I don't. Alrighty. As you guys see this kind of occur, and Corin, you're kind of left sitting there at the table. If you guys would like to join him, you're welcome to. Or if you prefer, you can go ahead and make your own inquiries.
Kerbal's gonna, eat breakfast, but then kind of look around the room and see what else he hears. And then as he's, put some stuff away, but then he's going to keep some cereal, like some dry cereal, just like in his bag, different colors, and just like sneak around and see if there's anything interesting looking, anything shiny, and anything else I hear.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an investigation. Well, first stealth and then an investigation check. We'll go from there.
Okay. Stealth is...
Asking rogues for stealth. Is there anything more useless in D&D?
I mean, it's 13, but then it's +7, so dirty 20.
Everyone understands my frustration now. Go ahead and make...
The first of many dirty 20s.
Seriously,
will be a 16.
That came too. 16. Okay. Skulking about, as gnomes are wont to do, some people kind of take notice of you, and you do actually get a couple eyes that kind of pass you by. You realize it's not because they're openly searching for you, but Zilspar is in a place called, and I'm sorry that it's named this, Zilargo. Zilargo is a gnomish-based country. So some people currently have in their minds like a gnome country was attacked, and kind of like look over, they're like, "Oh my gosh, what's she going through right now?" But you've never been there. Like, you yourself have never visited Zilargo, though you know about it. There is a lot of interesting stuff on the backs and hips of a lot of the travelers here. Yes, a couple of them even probably magical. Some of them inherently magical. You can see a number of wands that are held by spell swords, as they're called, mages who sell their wand for hire rather than using iron. You do notice there is a gentleman who has a golden envelope peeking out of a pocket.
Golden envelope.
Yeah, it's weird. It's inlaid with gold. Seems unusually ostentatious, but it's there, and it does catch the eye.
Oh, he's gonna go up, and he doesn't necessarily want to keep it, but he wants to swipe it and see what it is.
Okay. I'll take a sleight of hand check then.
Um, 16.
Okay. Making your way through and just kind of like leaning up against people. And as they turn, you kind of pivot with them. You're able to just kind of bump into the gentleman, oops, sorry, and like pull it out of his pocket. And you can see that it is addressed to a Mr. Roderick Fairseas.
Roderick Pharisees. And does that name ring any bells or no?
Go ahead and make, I wouldn't even call this let's call it a history check.
Okay. Oh, good. Not good. 8.
8. You don't recall where you've heard the name before, but it does sound familiar.
Okay. Cool.
Indeed, the same gentleman, after being having his purse like brushed up against, actually begins to kind of walk through and actually makes a beeline, it looks like, for Micah. I keep on wanting to say either Mika or Micah, and I'm going to get it wrong. At some point, it's going to...
She's not particular. It's okay.
Damn it, though, but okay. This gentleman comes over and says, "Are you Micah? Mika? Sorry, I only have the lettering of the envelope to go off of."
That's okay. Yes, it's me. I'm Mika.
He says, "This is for you," and he hands you a golden envelope yourself.
Ooh. I'll take it.
He then moves around to Corin sitting on the table. This gentleman sits down for just a moment and says, "Are you Corin?"
I am. Who's asking?
A payday. And he goes ahead and he puts down another gold envelope in front of you. He then stands up. He says, "Have a nice day." Moves on over.
You're not serving me, are you?
The opposite, sir. I am the bringer of good fortune. He finally makes his way over to you, Abra, and he says, "Miss Abra?"
Yes.
"A friend wishes you to have this," and presents you with your own golden envelope.
Thank you.
"My pleasure." He goes ahead and he walks, it looks like, towards an exit and makes his way out. Is anyone opening up their stuff, or are they going to wait until later?
Oh, I'm absolutely opening it.
I'm opening it too.
Did I swipe it or?
No, you got it.
I got it?
Yeah, you got it.
Roderick's. Okay.
Yep.
Ooh.
Sweet.
I just want to go to the chocolate factory.
Those of you who open up will find that it is in fact a letter of invitation, saying that, simply said, it says, "Hello. I have work for you that is profitable and mutually beneficial and work for your specific skills. You can find me at the Lower Dira..." Oh gosh, I can't even read my own handwriting. The Lower Dira, district. Good God, people. I'm going to go ahead and make this up. I can't read my own handwriting. Please meet me at the Lower Dura district in a half hour, and you will be well rewarded for your time.
I check with the others to make sure theirs says the same thing.
Looking about, it seems that all the letters are identical.
So what are we waiting for, guys? Let's do it.
Micah.
Is it addressed from someone, or does it just say like?
It simply says "a friend." And there is an insignia that looks like a small black cage with a fire inside of it.
Does that look familiar?
Make a history check.
Oh boy. That's super cocked.
My nickname in high school.
Yeah.
I made Bruce laugh. That's all that matters.
14.
14. There are, in the country of Breland, the king has certain branches under his control. The king's swords, the king's shields, and the king's wands, each of them owing their allegiance to the king and helping fulfill a certain need, most of it in a protectoral kind of capacity. There's a fourth branch, and I can't like this, and I'm sorry. The fourth branch is called the King's Dark Lanterns. They are sort of they're like the covert operation. They would be what the CIA is for America. They work on foreign soil with absolute autonomy and ultimate authority on the king's behalf to ensure secrets kept safe, wars averted, and outwardly trying to help people without making a show of it. So, if the four of you would like to, we can go ahead and take a sky barge down to the Dora district. Upon your arrival there, you are all, the four of you, well, actually, the three of you are kind of picked up. And Kerbal, keeping an eye on the other people who these letters were meant for, you can also surmise that this is the person you're looking for. There's a cloaked figure who seems to have like an enchantment over the hood that obscures their face completely. They go ahead and signal over to you as though they were waiting for you. Would you like to go over? The person, voice is also obscured, simply says, "Please follow me. I'd like not to do this in open doors." And he quickly jaunts into a direction towards what looks to be a local inn. Upon entering into this inn, it is about half capacity right now. It's not super busy, but lunch is beginning and some people are coming off of certain shifts to be a part of, to just take part in lunch. The gentleman or lady takes out a couple coins, knocks them against the wood and places them in front of the bartender, who simply nods as he enters into a room in the back. With a lever pulled and a painting twisted, there's a entrance that leads deeper down into this bar. As he descends down, you guys come into a small office-like area. It looks like there are candles that are lit beforehand. All of the wax looks like this purplish black material. You can see on the wall there are several strands connecting to all over the maps of Khovaire, and indeed notes that are written in Elvish, Common, Draconic. Some of them make no sense, like the reptile eagle spotted here, Order of Ephemeral Claw everywhere now, like lots of hypotheticals and half questions and half answers. The person takes their hood down and you see a square-jawed, brown-haired human, almost unremarkably looking, not a scar about them, nothing really to signify them by. In fact, this might be the most plain person in the world. He simply smiles and says, "I apologize for all the deception." He looks quickly over to Kerbal, who has followed the entire way. He says, "I suppose my letter did not reach all of its intended targets."
Hi.
Hello. I assume that you stole the letter that got you invitation here.
Yeah, it was just really shiny, and these are my friends, so I was just gonna hang out with them. And I'm really great at stealing shiny things and stabby.
Yes, and you are very sneaky, it seems, as well. Consider this, well, I will have need of someone of your abilities. Roderick Fairseas is one such rogue of renown that I saw in the paper, but honestly, anyone from the Adventurers Guild will do. I suppose you're all wondering why you are here. I represent the interests of the King's Dark Lanterns, and last night, as I'm sure you've already heard, Zilspar was destroyed in a cataclysm that has been, as of yet to the kingdom of Breland, unprecedented. But Miss Micah here, you've seen craters of this before, very, very far from this location.
Unfortunately, that's true. But we did stop, or rather destroyed a weapon of such power, but we were not aware if there were others already created.
Indeed. It seems a new device has been built, and while not at a full capacity to destroy an entire country, is simply able to create destruction on a scale that has been before, as I said, unprecedented. We've been following this along since House Thorani made us available. The Dark Lanterns have spoken to the Dragon-marked House and have made some inquiries about this device. Indeed, you were looking on your own investigation to a Miss Many Musgraven, who we have been, as of now, unsuccessful in finding. The rest of you are, well, the both of you are Adventure Guild members. And indeed, Mr. Corin, you were a part of the same group that went into Drome and discovered well, simply spoken, wholesale slaughter and a connection to a Miss Minnie Musgraven as well.
Yes, we did. Any word on the missing gnome, Manny Musgraven?
Well, we know where she has been, or at least where her weapon was. It is the very same one that destroyed Zilspar, but we are still looking into finding her. Currently, the situation is tense. The last war ended some 10 years ago, and people believe that this might be the thing that sets it off all over again. It ended only because the kingdom of Seer was destroyed by the Mournland. Some incident that wiped out that entire country has left many hesitant to continue war, not knowing where such a power could be implemented or when. Whether this was connected with it or in fact entirely separate, it remains to be seen. However, the reality is this. Zilargo never really saw the action of the last war. Indeed, they kept themselves separate, and any collateral damage has thus been fixed. But they've been good friends to the Brelling Kingdom, and us being their neighbors, many are wondering if this was in fact Zilargo who did this to their own country, if it was Brelin that struck, or if it was another entirely. There is a task at hand that will lead us closer to war if we do not do something soon. And so, I'm looking for agents who can act on a covert scale to assist in helping prevent war while we dig into this a little bit further. Each of you have your talents here. Mr. Kerbal has proven that he can easily enter into a room that he's not wanted into, which is more than enough for us. Mika, we in fact have heard tales of things that you've done to the enemies that have befalled you, and you have previous experience with Manny Musgraven destroying, in fact, her machine. Now that I think about it, Kerbal, I believe that you were also part of that team. Serendipity, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been on pretty crazy adventures together and done some pretty great things.
I can speak for Kerbal. Their talents are far beyond their stature.
Well, we will need more of your good work to be done, and more of that work to be accomplished to the degree that you've been doing it independently. Mr. Corin, you do not strike me yourself as someone who would take well to the idea of conscription. Let it be known, the Crown is looking for soldiers in an upcoming battle should it occur, and the Adventurers Guild will be looked into first, as they are a ready supply of militia ready to fight. Now, if you don't feel like being a soldier in someone else's army, I can offer you a position among the Dark Lanterns that will best suit your abilities, give you autonomy, and the opportunity to make some money as well.
Well, House Denace has never once turned down mercenary work for hire, so I'm sure that we can probably come to some amicable agreement.
And that leaves us with Abra. Abra, I in fact know very, very little about you. I've done a full background, but I understand that you wish to do good works, and you don't care about the specificity of the laws that must be followed in order to do those good works. I'm of the same mind, and indeed I know something about watching good people die and not being able to do anything about it.
Yes, if we can prevent any war, I'm on board to do whatever I can to help.
Marvelous. Marvelous. Well, I thought I would pick something up from one of the many perks that you would get as part of the Dark Lanterns. And he brings forth a little box, and he moves a mechanism and opens it up. He says, I had our local apothecary whip something up for us. And he puts down 4 bottles of different colored liquid. One of them is red with the small little individual particles within it expanding very rapidly and then contracting once again. Another one is simply white, but there is kind of this sheen to it that kind of travels from the base of the glass to the top. The last one appears to be just an ointment or salve, clear in color, but with definite instructions. He says, this is what we would call a signing bonus. I cannot bring anyone into the Dark Lanterns untested, so I have a small little courier mission I need you to accomplish for me. Shouldn't take long. But should you agree to it, these are all yours. He points to the first glass. He says, this is a potion of growth. which will allow you to be large for, I believe, an hour. This one is a potion of clairvoyance, very good for listening into the interior messages of others. And this final one is ointment of Kyogath. It's, frankly, the strongest healing potion that I know of without it actually being needed to be ingested. You can, in fact, rub this on an area where you've been struck, and it will heal instantaneously. Yes.
I-
Sorry, I should clarify. Caroline
sorry.
and then Rachel. Sorry, Abra, yes?
I immediately grab the potion of clairvoyance and look at the other three and say, I'll be taking this one, if that's cool.
Mika is very excited to grab the growth potion.
And Kerbal, that would Kerbal, it's between you and Corn for the ointment.
What's the ointment do again?
The ointment cures poison, diseases, and when applied or ingested, heals you for 2d8 plus, I want to say 4. It's like a heavy-duty healing potion.
Okay.
And it's got 4 uses in it.
It's fantasy NyQuil.
It is fantasy NyQuil.
Do you need it or? Okay, I'll take it.
Excellent. Now, I need to get something from a contract in the Central Plateau. There's a place called Baldry's Hearth. You're going to find another inn very similar to this one called the Red Dragon Rest. In there is a mountain dwarf, and I would like you to go ahead and get some intel from him and bring it back to me over in the Ambassador Towers. The King's Citadel, its offices are there, and a better meeting place, I think, for actual members. Find this mountain dwarf. He will be known by the insignia here. And he goes ahead and he points to his own dark lantern insignia, which is in fact that same cage with lantern with a bright burning fire coming out of it. Burning. Excellent. He says, if you do this, then I will have another task for you in order to make some real money. Yes, Abra.
What did you say his name was?
I did not. And I think that it would be prevalent not to share his name at this time. You will know him by the insignia, and you may call him Agent if you wish. That is the extent of what I think would be safe to say in open doors.
Got it.
You were to tell no one, and he narrows his eyes at each of you as he says this, what you're doing, who has sent you, and if you are discovered, you will lie your way out of it. Well then, I'm to be off. Best of luck. And he goes ahead and he begins to leave the same way he came in. So, what would you guys say?
Well, I guess we'll just go randomly find a mountain dwarf with an insignia and not tell anybody and not ask anybody about it or him or anything else. Yeah.
Simple enough.
Rather light on the instructions, so I certainly hope that this is well worth our troubles.
So what, do you want to go into the main tavern area and start asking questions?
Yeah, that'd probably be good.
Does anyone have
He's
any
probably there.
leads?
Sorry. Go ahead, Mika.
I was gonna say, do I recognize this like location? Does anybody kind of like, does it ring a bell for anyone?
Everyone can make a history check.
3.
No.
8.
No.
19.
Holy shit. Abra, you have been to the Red Dragon Rest before. You know that it's in a completely different district of Sharn, but it's not far to travel. You could probably take the crew there relatively easily. Oh, which reminds me, real quick, I'm going to get everyone's passive perception scores. It will be your wisdom modifier plus 10.
14.
Cool. And then Micah.
Flat 10. She's not wise. She's strong.
But she's
Same.
woke as same 10?
Yeah.
Cool.
12 for me.
Very good.
Oh dear, the paladin with the highest perception score. What's our rogue doing?
Oh no, I think the Kerbal's got the 14.
Oh, okay, all right. That makes me feel, whew.
Deceivingly wise, Kerbal.
As you begin your trek out, the part of this journey will be you can either walk or you can try to ride. What would you prefer? Riding being
ride.
Ride, yeah.
Micah?
I was just going to ask, is it going to cost us anything to try and procure a ride? And is it going to take longer to find one than it would to just walk?
It would be ultimately cheaper to walk. It'll cost you a gold piece a piece for a ride.
That's fine. Easy enough to find, though?
Yep, very much so. Very common.
I would love to ride. My short legs are going to take forever.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, let's find a big horse for me though.
Oh, it wouldn't be a horse. It would be probably another sky barge that you guys would be able to commandeer. Yeah, I mean, horses are existing here, but the thing about this is that the districts are this entire city is very vertical. So it's not just a distance of going this way, it's a distance of going that way.
Got it.
But you're able to find a barge and you're able to go down. Let me go ahead and do something real quick. Okay. As you guys finally reach the part of Baldry's Hearth, you are able to start walking your way towards the inn. Do you guys want to do anything before you get to the Red Dragon Inn? Yeah, Micah.
I would love to see if there's any shop that just sells some basic potions, because I have none.
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
That's my strong suit. She said very sarcastically. You said investigation?
Oh, yeah.
Solid 9.
Solid 9. You don't know where the fuck anything is in this district.
Listen, I just work here, okay?
Did we get any gold from the last mission?
It did, I believe. This was for the Valinor one. You would have received, hang on a second. Actually, yes. That's
my inventory has 100 platinum and 59 gold now.
Holy shit.
So 1,059. I added whatever you said to add, so that ride really sent me back, man. Oof.
You would probably have 70 gold pieces on you.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, where did all that platinum come from?
We did the job in the hut. We fought the ooze thing. Not the ooze, but the whatever it's called.
Yeah, that's right. Wait a minute. Yeah, so Laura, you would probably, I think that's actually from your mission with with House Thorani. So you would have,
the first one was like 100 platinum, because I have that too.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And then
I have like 15 additional gold for whatever reason.
There you go.
Okay.
Sweet. I'm loaded.
Yeah, enjoy.
I promise I didn't just make it up. I was like, it had to come from somewhere. It was one of the past crazy things.
It checks out because I had the same.
So you don't, in fact, know where like a potion place would be around here. And looking around at a few different offerings and asking some local people, they're kind of mixed about it as well. Not a lot of use for potion brewers. Not many people require health potions on a daily basis.
Okay. Dang.
As you enter into the Red Dragon Inn, you notice that this place has a very different atmosphere. For one, you can see like over the head of this entire inn is a minor illusion dragon who's just on its back, just like sipping a large mug of something. You can see similar advertisements throughout everywhere, like soldiers who are currently fighting like dragons. You can see like magicians casting spells, and indeed little minor illusions going throughout the rest of the bar. This place has kind of a whole flare neon vibe to it. In fact, all the tables themselves are kind of lined with this weird, useless light, different colors at each table. The flare, though, is, I mean, it sets this place apart. Upon entering, go ahead and everybody make a perception check.
Nat 20.
Yes.
The disappointment on Bradley's face.
You've got some blessed dice, Laura. I don't know what's in them, but like whatever meteorite it was chiseled out of.
They're Libra dice. They're like gemstones connected to my like sign.
You like the
You're also a
I
Libra.
need to do that.
You're a Libra.
This makes me so happy. Wait, when's your birthday?
Yay, October 7th.
way to do that.
Can we
This
please
is
take
amazing.
a 15-minute astrology break really quick?
Yes.
It was like
I'm sorry,
15 minutes
Bradley.
well
I feel like I instigate like a side conversation every single time. Last
It's my
time it was
favorite.
12. This time it was astrology side.
Woo! Well, on the sad opposite end of my fellow Libra, I got a 2.
Yeah.
I got an 8, so maybe that is what you wanted. Right in the middle.
I appreciate that. Nolan, what did you get?
I took an 11.
Excellent. That's what made you lose your shit? Okay, cool. Every half second, you can always tell when a joke's really funny because 10 seconds after, when the recording finally hits Charlotte, she hears it and laughs her ass off. Okay, sorry there, Nolan. Mercury's in Gatorade or something. So you can that broke Rachel.
Yes, it is.
So
No wonder it's so metallic.
pretty easily you're able to see kind of a hunched shorter figure matching Mika's kind of build, sitting in the far corner enjoying like a glass of something, and indeed it is a glass and it looks like the ice inside of it are actually glowing, but it's Kerbal in fact who notices finally that there is a humanoid figure who has been following you and indeed has followed you all the way from the sky barge.
Do I notice anything else besides it is a humanoid?
Their face is pretty well obscured, but like with a face mask itself and the hood drawn low. You do see on their hip is a short sword, and it looks like they've been trying to keep their distance. You just with a you're always kind of on the lookout for someone like watching you, trailing you, and about to bust you for something. So this time it caught someone else entirely. They don't look like they're part of the.
I think there's a dude following us.
I'll try to do the subtle when your friends say don't look and you like look, but like try to be subtle and like, do I see who she's talking about or who he's talking about?
After Kerbal points it out, it's very easy to spy this humanoid who just seems to be like casually leaning against a pillar on the opposite side of the walking way. Upon like you staring, they go ahead and mind their own business. Indeed, look like they're walking the other way, and they turn around a corner. You can no longer see them.
I'm almost positive they were following us.
Should we go and try to figure out who that was, or do we want to let them mind their business?
I'll go ahead
I
and
don't know.
confront them. I don't care.
Oh,
All right, I'm down to go and walk around that corner with Abra and Kerbal.
Okay,
Lauren wants to come.
Corin.
Always in for it.
Okay. Alrighty. You exit out of the Red Dragon and then go across the walkway over into that same alleyway. Currently, you do not see anyone there. It just seems to be like a few bags of something, a crate or two, and a lot of actual garbage that come from what looks to be some kind of eatery next door. The smell is sour and also kind of sweet. Yes, Micah.
I'd like to kick a few of the bags and look in the crates and kind of shake them, see if anyone climbed in there.
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Ooh. 4.
4.
We're good at this.
All right. Your foot pierces through with the true barbarian strength that you have into one of the garbage bags, and you feel something wet touch your toes. As you pull it back out, the wet comes out of the bag. The smell intensifies.
She like drags her foot along the ground to try and like when you step in gum, you're like, ugh. Is there any fresh grass I can go and like wipe my foot around in?
Sadly, it's a pretty man-made structure. You guys aren't even on the ground floor of anything. You could probably wipe it on like the wall of something if you wanted to, but there's not grass.
She's instantly like, ugh.
Mr. Corin.
Knowing the description of the person, at least from what we've seen, do I have to know anything or like physically see them in order to use Mind Link? Or can I just kind of like think to this man that I saw and say some things into his brain?
Damn, Kalishtar always doing their weird ass mind shit, going in and not being able to dream and all that other fucking bullshit. Mind link. You telepathically link to any creature you can see, provided the creature is within a number of feet equal to 10 times your level. If they were within range, theoretically it would work, but you'd also have to see this person. Good news is you don't have to share the language. So you gotta be able to see the person you're talking to. Yes, Abra.
I look around and see if there are any passages or any openings where they could have snuck through as well.
I'll take another investigation check. Go for it. You can say investigation, survival, or perception, actually. There's a few different ones that could meet under. Go ahead and pick your favorite.
15. I did investigation.
Okay. 15, looking around, this place doesn't even have a wall that looks like it would be able to jump over unless you're able to fly. And indeed, as you're kind of looking over, you actually pass by one of the garbage bags. Oddly enough, it seems contoured to be large enough to hold, indeed, a body.
I approach that garbage bag and kick it.
Oh!
Yep.
The garbage bag actually shifts, and it looks like it's just a very clever looking cloak that seemed to disguise itself based off its surroundings. Because as soon as he moves, the entire thing is dispelled, and this person kind of runs, like, pulls their cape behind them in a dramatic fashion and whips out some kind of wand. It's like, stand back! I'll fireball all of you!
Hi. So our friend said you might have been following us to the Red Dragon, and I want to know why.
Yeah.
What? Oh. I didn't see him there. I'm not telling you. I could just as easily kill all three of you right now.
So you admit it?
Micah, I saw your hand.
I'll pull out my sword and walk up and kind of, is he still on the ground?
He stood up at this point. He's
Okay.
just kind of like backed up into an alley just with a wand extended. The alley, just for the sake of the purposes, is about 60 feet long with 20 feet wide.
All right. I think I'll kind of walk a little bit closer with my sword drawn and be like, you could tell us the easy way or the hard way. And it's, I'll leave that choice up to you, our following friend.
I will go ahead and let you do intimidation with advantage because Abra is also threatening. Actually, the entirety. Yes, Mr.
I was going to say, I would like to at least attempt to assist her via mind link. Maybe plant a thought or two in his head and give her an assist on the roll there.
What would you like to put in his head?
I would like to tell him as I reach for the hilt of my sword that I would not be trifling with these folks here. It's, you know, between the five of us, it's 4 of us and 1 of him. And, you know, I'm sure that he's a pretty proficient wizard, but we've seen some things, man. We've seen some things. And I think things are going to go a lot easier if he just answers the kind person's questions here.
What was that intimidation check?
Oh, I haven't made it yet, but I am right now. Oh, you said with advantage, right?
Yeah.
Nat 20, so 22 total.
You can't tell, but I'm looking over at Laura.
The disappointed look is my favorite. It's just so satisfying.
Whenever there's a natural, I feel like there's more natural 20s rolled when Laura's here. Like having played with her.
Third now?
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's because she's a fairy human.
It's true.
In life.
I roll a lot of dirty 20s, but I don't necessarily roll a lot of nat 20s.
It's true.
But
the gentleman, clearly frightened, like begins to like falter. You can see like his kind of hand just shaking. He's like, And you can kind of see like the wand itself like kind of breaks in half, and he's like, oh. He like drops it. He's like, okay. I was hired to see where you would go and where you would go next.
What?
Yeah.
Whose business is it?
So
Yeah,
Aberrant.
Or who wants? Oh,
Sorry.
Who are you hired by?
I met him in the cogs. He kept his face obscured the entire time. He offered me a bag of gold now if I took the job, and a bag of gold after if I found out. I think he might have been gnomish. Hard to say. He's tall
Well,
for a gnome.
I dare to wager that you definitely did find out, and by that sounds to me you're owed a bag of gold. We'll take the gold that you have now.
He like reaches back. He's like, if I give you this, can I leave with my life?
I look to the other three in the party.
I don't see why not.
only if you promise not to go back and report.
I promise. And he goes ahead and he takes like a small little coin purse and throws it.
I think that's
There.
honorable.
You have what you have. Yeah.
Do I like thinking through the gnomes that I know, does a particular gnome stand out in my mind of who that would be, or no?
The problem is there's way too many that match that description.
Okay.
Shady back alley characters who are also gnomish. Yep, that's that
But
matches a lot of.
You already said gnome. Like, no need to be redundant here.
Hey, I'm just saying.
hey, is there anyone I would think that's a gnome that would be after us specifically, like that has any reason to be want to keep tabs on us?
The one gnome you've made an enemy of is probably many, but it might be unlikely, especially if they're saying that it's a male instead.
A male, yeah. I was okay, cool.
The gentleman kind of standing there, you see now he's probably just like a teenager with like some red beard and his in like a patchwork goatee. He's like, so you have what you want? Can I just make my way through here? Yeah, I go.
Why did you take the job? Why do you need the money?
People got to eat. And supposedly there's going to be a war coming around. So you buy a bunch of food, you stockhold it, and as soon as there's a siege, you can sell it for diamonds.
Do you have any siblings?
I don't see why that's prevalent.
What's your star sign?
I'm a
Are
Virgo,
you a Libra?
but I'm with like a Taurus moon rising. That's all I'm going to say. That I don't know if that makes any sense, by the way. There might be some astrology people in this game right now who are just like, no, makes no sense.
None of that. That is
Moonrise.
I'll take how much? Can I tell how much is in the pouch?
I rolled
Roughly.
for this a second ago, and then I did not record it down. There's about 42 gold pieces here.
Oh, I definitely want to. I'd trade that bag of gold for the cloak.
Oh,
I'd let him leave with the money for the cloak.
like fine.
And-
He takes
I
it
know a
off.
rogue
He's like,
that might be able to use this.
it's got a lot of pockets. He kind of like folds it up and like hands it over, and then he like
Okay.
goes and sees to pick up the gold bag and like slowly drag it. Like, is this okay?
Wait. I grab the bag and I put a platinum in it and I give it back.
This has been the weirdest robbery ever, but thank you. He's gonna like now that he's like
I like
not
food. I understand.
alrighty. He like ties it to his side. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go, not back to the cogs, and you all have a nice day. And he's like, excuse me, sorry, excuse me,
Pardon.
excuse me, sorry. Nice scales, excuse me. Just makes his way out of the alleyway and out of sight indeed.
He's just a kid trying to do a job.
Well, that was an experience. We paid him to spy on us.
I think he's had the wits scared out of him enough. If anything happens, we go back and we find him again. Teach him a lesson. I think we can hold our own. He's just a kid. And now we have this dope cloak that apparently has a lot of pockets. So
It is
I'm willing to let a child eat.
It is a cloak of disguise. You can cast disguise self while wearing it. Yes.
Check the pockets and see if there's any info on the guy who gave him the job.
Looking into the delightful pockets in here, and it's perfect. There's like one right at the ribcage side for like stowing like your wallet. You've got another one in the far bottom for like car keys if you need it.
Snacks.
Yeah, for snacks. There's definitely pocket bacon in the one on the right hand side. At the far bottom, holy shit, Rachel lost her. Both Laura and Rachel's eyes lit up.
Pocket bacon.
At the far bottom one, looks to be a bit of parchment. Opening up, it looks like a haphazard drawing of what looks to be a dragon. The problem is that the wings look like bird wings. It doesn't look like they know how to draw. Like, it looks like there was definitely an intention to draw, but then it was like bat wings, and it wasn't like spot on. So they just made him like feathered wings. It's not a great drawing. In fact, it's a pretty subpar drawing. It's akin to almost stick figures.
I hope he takes that platinum, gets himself some art school lessons or something, man. That kid's got more in his life ahead of him. He just needs some direction.
Indeed. So you have that cool cloak now. Where are we going from here?
I say let's go back to the tavern and see if I recognize anyone, since I am familiar with the area.
Okay. Go ahead and just make, this will be interesting. You can make a perception check. Yeah, just to see if you notice anyone you recognize.
11.
11. With an 11, there is not a lot of people around here that you really, I would say, recognize. You frequent this area when you first came into town. The one exception is a person by the name of Cadman, who is a human who when you just came in, recommended you a bunch of different places. He has a small little prop-up stop, like a little prop-up shop. He's a mage right in training, so he sells a lot of useless magic items, but he's a friendly guy, and sometimes he just likes to gaff just for the fun of it. Like, he'll get up on a soapbox and he'll be like, "Everyone, please come by, see my magic wares. Please, do you need an ever-smoking bottle? Do you need yourself a cape of billowing? I have it for you, and that's for reasonable prices, made by an official almost majorite." And he is indeed doing his spiel right now, which is why you can notice him.
I wave him down and say, "Hey, Cabman, sorry to interrupt. I don't know if you remember me."
Oh, of course I do. You're Hocus.
Abra.
Shit. I remember your face. Forgot the name. I knew it was something magic. What can I do for you?
Well, we are looking for a
Bargain?
No.
Oh.
Not a bargain.
Well.
We are looking for an agent mountain dwarf.
Really? Well, I think I might have seen someone like that. I could be persuaded to even remember a little bit better if
I hand him a piece of gold.
It's like, oh, great. You know, this does help. I believe I saw one such gentleman of persuasion who had entered into the Red Dragon in about an hour ago. He might have been gone by now, but you could probably check.
What was he wearing?
Oh, you know, the typical cloak with green trim. And, if I could just remember, he like tapping the gold piece against his noggin.
I hand him another gold piece.
Oh, you're too kind, lady.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was definitely taller on the dwarvish side, I'll say. In fact, you could even say that his beard was a little bit on the patchier side, with strange little ears that propped out of his cloak. I'd say if I didn't know any better, he weren't a dwarf at all, but some sort of, I don't know what. There's sharper features about this one. You can definitely tell. There's something a little bit different about this gentleman. He's got a red shirt and green pants on underneath the cloak. He's also wearing Crocs.
So makes a lot of poor judgment decisions.
Apparently. But, I mean, at least when he runs, you can hear that. So you know where to go.
Exactly. And probably a lot less back pain than the rest of us. What do you guys have any other questions for sweet Cabman?
He like does this award-winning smile, points at himself. You notice there's a pretty big gap between his two front teeth.
You got any healing potions?
I mean, a couple, but I mean, I can't sell them to you at base price because I don't get resupplied until later. Army came by and requisitioned some stuff. Call it about 100 gold, and I'll give you a regular old healing potion.
Since you were
Highway
so
robbery.
persuasive, make it 70 gold.
Make a persuasion check.
That's
Definitely not my strong suit, I think.
13.
13. You're vomiting in my hair and calling it rain. Fine. 70.
I'll take that.
Useless miser. And he goes ahead and hands you a pristine potion of healing.
Beautiful. Just regular?
Just a regular one. Marked up.
Beautiful.
But if you're interested in
Better
other
than nothing.
things, I've got all sorts of things. I just the other day I procured myself a mystery key and a orb of direction. I also have myself a what would be super useless? I have a pipe of smoke monsters if you're interested.
Do you have any kind of daggers? Shiny daggers.
Shiny daggers. The lady has a particular mind about her. Let me take a look.
I may look like a lady, but I'm just a little boy.
I'm sorry. I keep on fucking that up on my end. I'm sorry, Laura. Sorry, Laura, who is a girl that I keep calling your character who is a boy.
Okay. It's complicated.
I do have one such dagger. It is very shiny, and he brings it out, and it's this beautiful ebony black hilted dagger with a small little clear gem of, like, you're not really sure if this is a diamond, opal, or what. It just looks like almost, honestly, it looks a little bit like cubic zirconium, but we're not going to get into that real quick. The dagger itself is sinister looking and kind of curved at certain points. He says, "This is a dagger of one-liners."
What's that mean?
It means that when you kill someone with it, there's a one-liner that it said out, and there is a 5% chance that it's relevant to the situation.
Blood diamonds are a rogue's best friends.
How much is it?
I mean, for this, I just got it in the other day. I'd say I'd sell it at 75.
Okay.
Mika has no use for that. Rachel definitely does.
You, sir, Mr. Paladin, sir, you're a follower of the Sovereign Host, I see. I myself am a good Brellan boy. Been to church every single Sunday, if we had Sundays in this universe. And I know someone who's in need of some pristine donned-off armor. Let me ask you this. Go about town in your heavy armor all day long, and when you get home, you just want to go to sleep, but you have to unstrap all of it and then put it down in its place, and then the next morning you have to take it all back on and put it on. No longer, I say. I have armor in which you can don and doff in a moment's notice. Perfect for when you're getting snuck up on by bandits at night. Even better when you're just looking to take it off and go to bed.
I'm intrigued, but Corin kind of pulls his cloak aside and shows off his Splint +2 armor. You're going to have to sell this a little bit better, buddy.
Oof. Well, I suppose I can't do much for that, but perhaps I could transfer the enchantment to the Splint armor. A little bit on the pricier side. I'd probably mark it up another 15 gold, but say 115 an hour's work, and I can get that bad boy to you. Perfect condition, donned off material on this Splint armor.
And the enchantment is?
essentially, it would function the same way that this particular magic item does, but it would have layered on effects, which a mage knight's able to do. It's an extremely lengthy process for most people. This guy, I'd like an insight check on real quick.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes.
That's a nat one.
Okay, cool. This guy is legit. He could absolutely do what he's saying. No questions asked.
Yeah, you know, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and pass on this one. It's this armor's a little bit new. I'm still trying to get it broken in. Still trying to get a feel for it.
Very well. Well, if there's nothing else that I can do for you, then I think that I've shown you the extent of what I have.
I'm
Sounds
good.
All righty.
Yeah, I think
Well,
that's it.
Well, Miss Alakazam, it's always a pleasure seeing you down here in the Central
Abra.
Plateau. My bad. Sorry. I was thinking of another person whose name is similar but different, just a tad. I'll be seeing you around, hopefully. And he kind of lifts up his little area and begins to move it down into a different part of the square. Is there anything else you guys want to do? Yo.
I think we need to get to the Red Dragon Tavern if he said that dwarf / possibly something else was an hour ago.
I swear to God, if you made a Dwelf, Bradley.
I would be so excited.
There's nothing in there. I just needed to hide my smile.
Green cloak, red pants. Like Santa Claus's elves are out of control.
Had a red shirt, green cloak, green
Yeah.
pants.
And Crocs. Not so great in the snow, but nimble fingers.
It's like middle of springtime, just about. So don't even worry about. Oh gosh, but when the snow comes, yeah, he's gonna have wet feet. Ugh. Alrighty, you guys are currently like out. You guys had gone into this like neon plastered Red Dragon Inn area before. If you guys want to enter back into it, you can go ahead and do so. The figure described is easy with the description now given to you of the gentleman who was in the back drinking his glass. It looks like he's since emptied it and gotten a new one, as he seems to be accruing them. Who wants to be not shy first?
Wait, so we see the guy that looks like this?
Oh yeah, this entire place is lit up with like faux neon lights, kind of. So you're able to pick this gentleman out. Yes, Abra.
I'll go.
Alrighty, you go ahead and walk on up to this area, and you do see the gentleman's face is kind of hidden, but you do see like a beard a little bit more extensive than you would see on like a female dwarf. He kind of looks up, and you immediately know what Cadman meant by this guy's a little off-putting. He has sharp features that are hidden by a patchwork beard that grows in some places and not, but looks like it's just going through determination. Certain parts of it like cover, but others are just like, there's a huge bald spot, like just like right here. His nose is angular. Oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? No, it's avian. That's it. He has an avian-like nose, a very heavy set brow that like extends off a little bit further. And you can see like one eye is this pristine blue and the other one is this mud-colored brown. He kind of looks over and he smiles, and you can see a lot of disjointed teeth. This gentleman is not a dwarf. He's not an elf. He is, in fact, a dwelf. He's the offspring of elves and dwarves, and they are not pretty.
I go up to him and I say, "Agent?"
Have a seat.
I look over at my 3 friends and hope that they are right behind me, because he does look a little alarming.
Charlotte put both her hands up in the air for the dwelf. Good for you.
Yeah, I'll join Abra.
Okay.
Same.
The gentleman kind of looks a little perturbed that there are more people here, but he's like, I spent a lot of time waiting here, and I went through even further trouble to go and get what you're looking for right here. I want to make sure that the guy's good on his word. Like am I getting paid for this?
Yeah, sure.
Make a deception check.
Does he look like something like way different than Kerbal has ever seen?
Yes, he's not a normal looking individual. You've never seen someone like this before.
I rolled a 7.
A 7. They're like, okay. So you don't know, basically. I guess they didn't tell you. Okay. Yeah, I have the information that he's looking for. He goes ahead and he takes this and places it across the table. He's like, there's a couple people. Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite food?
Oh, my gosh. I like sponge cake. Like, especially like spongy cake.
Wow.
Like almost wet. Can I help you with something? He's just staring at me.
Yeah, continue. Sorry. You're the, yeah.
I turn to Kerbal and say, are you displaying this wisdom that we haven't seen yet?
What? No, nothing. I'll stop. I just was, new people.
Right. Sorry, Aber, you wanted to do a thing?
No, I just pretty much want Kerbal to stay focused.
Did I see Micah's hand? I want to make sure I'm getting everyone at least. Okay, good. He looks over. He's like, all right, well, I need you to take this, and then I gotta wait a certain amount of time for you to leave. So I'm probably just gonna get another drink, I think. And he waves at the bar and it gets brought over. He's like, all righty. Why does he keep staring at me? Did I do something? Do we know each other?
I get really excited when I meet new people.
You guys work for the Dark Lanterns?
Uh-huh.
It looks like they're a little lax on policy since I joined up, but
He's kind of like our mascot.
Hey.
Well, excellent. You definitely got spirit, little buddy.
Thanks.
Please leave me. He starts drinking.
I'll just kind of shepherd Kerbal away. Okay, time to carry on with the mission. Just kind of get the group to leave this poor creature.
Indeed, you're able to. For the sake of expediency, you guys can make your way back to the Ambassador Towers district, where you can find in the area that the gentleman before, I realized no one got his name, had told you to meet up at. You are essentially, whenever anyone sees you, they kind of oh, and it seems like they intrinsically know that you're arriving, and doors begin to just open up for you. It's a very weird experience. As if almost going in, there's a magic aura about you that everyone who you immediately come into contact with almost knows what you're doing or where you're supposed to see. They head you off to an office a little bit grander than the one that you saw before, and you can see the same gentleman with the cloak off this time in finery clothes. As the door closes behind you both, he says, "So, were you able to get what we were looking for?"
We hand over the paper.
Excellent. He kind of looks it over a bit. He's like, Do you know what it is that you were given? Kind of closes up the scroll. It is the location of a man by the name of Dunban. Wobbles Dunban. Wobbles is a
Wobbles or Wobbles Dun Wobbles, comma Dundon.
Sir, has the weasel got your tongue?
Yes.
Wobbles is his first name. Last name is Dunban. He's a war profligator for Zilargo who's been running a well, an anti-Brellan message. Apparently, he's trying to direct the country of Zalargo in an effort to make it look like the Brelland kingdom was responsible for what happened to Zilspar. This gentleman would just be a nuisance had he not garnered some support from a few members of the Trust, Zalargo's version of us. And now that I have officially entered you all into my employment, and you are all officially Dark Lanterns, it's time to see what you paid for. As members of the Dark Lanterns, you have a discretionary budget per week of 100 gold pieces that we will reimburse you for. Similarly, you'll be able to get information on certain pieces of work you're looking to find out yourself. All of our information network is open to you. Of course, you all have to maintain your identity as members of the Adventuring Guild. If you are ever conscripted, you can simply show this insignia, and he places 4 in front of him, to any conscripting officers, and they will know to no longer mess with you. You have effectively gotten your way out of the army. Now, for your first official task, in which I can pay you for, and we'll say go ahead and pay you at the price of 500 gold pieces each, if that is agreeable. I would like a clean job done on Wobbles. What I need you to do is a covert elimination. I need Wobbles dead, and I need no evidence that anything ever happened. This, and he points to the scroll, is his last known location, a fortress in the King's Forest. It will almost certainly be unguarded, as it is a private estate, but almost certainly trapped, which is where, Kerbal, your needs will come in. There are dark magics employed by the gnome, and I would advise the use of countermeasures, such as the one that Korn and Miss Abra are able to provide. And of course, should those fail, strength will succeed where magic cannot. Are you gesturing to anything in particular, or are you just... If you do this, I will pay you 500 gold each. We will effectively steer the nation of Breland away and stop a conflict between one of our greatest allies from rising.
Well, I'm going to have to run this one up the company ladder just to make sure that we've got no conflicts of interest in the Blade Marks Guild, House Denise. But as long as I'm cleared, that's what I'm here for.
I believe
I'm in.
Excellent.
You can count me in as well.
Very good. Abra?
I will do it as well.
Marvelous. You leave tomorrow. We will secure horses for you. You can be at the, let's call it the Eastern Gate. It's 10:30, and we'll send you on your way. Yes, Abra.
Can we get an extra large horse for myself?
Yes, we can go ahead and supply an extra large horse for you. Mr. Kerbal?
Do we have an exact location or map to get to the fortress in the forest?
Indeed. And he goes ahead and he pushes the scroll towards you. It has been marked off by a small little hedgestone. I've sent an agent. I'll be sending an agent later tonight to head off to this little moniker. Simply turn left at it and walk into the forest until you reach the fortress. It is imperative that when you complete your mission that the same headstone is removed.
Got it.
I do mean no evidence. It needs to be clean. Dispose of the body however you can. If you do, in fact, spill any blood, clean it up yourselves. And, of course, you'll be needing one of these. And he gives you, like, this small cylinder with it looks like a small little ring on the top of it that looks like you can fit a finger through and pull. He rolls this over and he says, this will ensure that everything that happens while you're inside the fortress is unscribable. You will essentially be able to lose a span of an hour but you need to complete your work within that hour. Only pull it when ready, and, well, you only get the one. Extremely hard to fabricate, not even sold openly on the market. Another perk of being a dark lantern. So, we are going to go ahead and take this opportunity to head on to our break. On my clock over here, I have 22. Let's say, 23. Let's go ahead and say 38 is when we'll resume. Sound good, everyone?
Awesome.
good.
Per company
Ace.
policy, Corin is going to go ahead and send off a message to HQ, as documented in his handbook. He's going to go ahead and let them know that he's about to do this.
Excellent.
Per my last sending.
As per my last sending. You can absolutely get that done. And indeed, they will have senders who can do that for you free of charge, so you don't have to find anyone for it. There does not appear to be any particular response back, at least for a while. We'll go ahead and see what you get the following day. But
This is good news.
yeah, as long as they don't say no, you're pretty much free to go. All right, we'll be back here at 38, and we'll see y'all then.
Great.
Hi, everyone. We're going to be joining up in just a moment here. There we go. It's just you and me, audience. Listen to the others arrive. They'll be here in like 30 seconds. Hey, how's it going?
Great.
Excellent. I don't know if anyone does TikTok here, and I don't care. But I was thinking about the sound just because of the astrology thing earlier. I'm like, I want to believe you're a Libra, but you're acting like a fucking Gemini. And then it's just the response being like, don't sign shame me. I should also at some point get all the astrology, because a lot of our player base really like is into astrology. I personally am not, but a lot of cool stuff in astrology that you can use for D&D stuff. I'm thinking about just doing a wishing well one shot where you bring in a bunch of already established characters that we've played with on screen, and then just have them make a wish and then just roll improv based off of all that.
I'm going to go ahead and definitely count Dabbert out on that. He's got a ring that'll definitely just handle this for him. So
Correct. Well, then go ahead and use this guy.
Okay. That being said, I do not trust the person who gave it to me, and I assume that it's going to be one of those like very vindictive genies that's going to twist all of your words around and give you the thing that you asked for if you don't rules lawyer the shit out of it. I'm going to have to be very careful about this.
You think so little of me. I would absolutely do that. I'm historically known for it. Alrighty. So we get back into it. The morning opens. Mr. Corin, you check in and at the Clifftop Adventurers Guild, where you guys have all slept. You had to go back there because, I mean, you have rooms there. No one's conscripted you into the army yet, and now they will not because of your newly found status. You do get a message back once you get in contact back with the Dark Lanterns, and they do say they confirm that you are a free agent in this matter. They also appreciate that you've checked in and ask you to do so again in the future. For the sake of expediency and just drawing over whatever boring transitional travel stuff there is in D&D, you can pretty much get it everywhere you need to. An extra large horse is procured for our Dragonborn Abra. We are able to go ahead and get sizable. I mean, we could really fit both Micah and Kerbal onto the same horse if you wanted to.
I was going to ask if Kerbal wanted to ride the horse with me.
I had that same thing in my mind too.
Just like Carrie. I'll say if they're like having trouble with getting a large horse, be like, if you could just find one large horse, then we only need 3. Kerbal and I can share.
Alrighty. The gentleman who you guys have been dealing with, the Dark Lantern Knight Marshal who you've been speaking with. By the way, since no one has asked his name, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. His name is Marco.
Hello.
Well, thank you.
No worries. Just for your FYIs in the future. But hey, find a stranger, go on a quest. It's kind of D&D. You guys are able to find 3 horses. Gosh, I can hear the sounds of all the pencils hitting the paper as they write out fan fiction. You guys head into the King's Forest, or at least the road on the way to the King's Forest. On your way there, a few things of note will occur. First and foremost, Kerbal, you're going to notice that there is a owl who is sticking around during the daytime that appears to be following you guys for some reason.
Who?
An owl.
Who? I'm so sorry.
All right.
The quest of one-liners. I appreciate it.
I had to. I'll take whatever damage.
Don't worry, it was a 3. It won't hit you. Yes, Kerbal.
Kerbal whispers, Mecca, maybe Maybe it's the guy in owl form, but now there's an owl following us.
Can I look to see if the owl, like, I don't know that I would necessarily be able to figure this out, but like, does it look like a regular owl or does it look like someone that like transformed themselves?
You can make an
Do
Arcana check.
Do
Okay.
regular owls usually follow Clydesdales across the countryside? No, I don't think so.
That's very true. Arcana, yeah, that's also one of my strong suits. That was a wild ride. It's a 5.
Okay. There appears to be nothing strange about this owl.
Other than it following.
Other than
but,
it's following you, yes.
I'll point it out to the group. Make it
And-
known.
Guys, it doesn't have a cloak on, which means it could be the guy that was following us before.
Kerbal, I think.
That's a nature check right there.
Go for it. Go ahead and Mr. Corn and Kerbal, go ahead and both make nature checks. Now that you're both observing it.
12.
15.
You said 15?
Aaron, that's somewhat of a bird expert.
Okay. The two of you are able to recognize this as a barn owl, and it is 100% USDA certified owl. Appears not to be magical in any way, but following you for some reason.
Weird.
It's weird. It stops when you stop. It goes when you go. At some point, you will reach the second moniker on your trip, which is a very large, roughly 100-foot diameter crater just in the center of the road. This is typically where Zilspar would have been.
Oh.
Yep. What's weird about
This
this?
is awful.
What's weird about it is that the entirety of the structure, like there's no natural formations of like anything sinking in. In fact, it's almost perfectly geometrically sound that it is curved at such an angle. It's almost perfect. It's like there was a sphere that just dropped down into this area and picked up everything that was here.
Are you
Yeah.
okay, Kerbal?
Yeah, it's horrible.
I know.
It's like a meteor hit.
Hopefully we can prevent further things like this from happening. We already did once, remember? We did once. We did good.
Do you think it was the bomb device that we destroyed? And they created another one and they did this?
It could very possibly could have been. It looks about the same.
Abra and Nolan, Maka and I, we went on this mission to get the blueprint for a bomb device, and we found it and we destroyed it, and our friend lost his arm doing it, and it was super bloody and super cool. And but we still gave the blueprints, and I feel actually kind of really horrible about it now because maybe those blueprints destroyed all the gnomes.
I just kind of like hug Kerbal on the horse with me. Like, it's okay. Like,
So you didn't get all of the blueprints then? Some of them.
No, well, we
Copies?
did. Well, the thing is we gave the blueprint to the other people that hired us, and they might have made a weapon with the blueprint that we gave them.
Well, that stands to reason.
Kerbal, we have no way of knowing whether they used the blueprints for the malicious intent we see in front of us, or if there was already another device being produced that we didn't get to destroy.
That's true.
You can't blame yourself or any of us, and we were just trying to do what we thought was the best.
Okay.
But
Abra?
use that as motivation and incentive to keep on with what we're doing now. You know, you can't look back. You can only look forward.
Okay.
As you guys have to make your way around this particular, like, out of this crater, you go around to you finally make your way to the other side of it and put it in hindsight. The image of this place actually just kind of sticks with you for a while. You can kind of see that, like, certain along the road from this point, small little encampments of people who are just like waiting for other family members to like come to Zilspar, be seen, trying to look for family members who may have survived, like people who are just generally in mourning. But even after a while, even they stop appearing, and you do come across, it will be this time Corin. Corin, you take note of a particular headstone that's like marked on the side of the freeway. Goodness gracious, walkway. It's weird. It's like the 405. That is marked with the same insignia of the Black Lanterns.
Just the one?
Just the one.
All right. Well, I guess I would like to go ahead and inspect it then. See if there's a trail leading off to the side, off the not 405.
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Ye old 405.
What was that, Mr. Corn?
18, please.
18. As you go up to this stone and kind of examine like the walkway that could be, the owl lands on it. And it
just to glance back and stare at the owl.
The owl opens its eyes up all the way, and its pupils get real, real big.
I would like to go ahead and mind link with it and allow it to speak with me.
Okay. Real quick, as you're doing that, Abra, you had a hand up.
I was just seeing if it had any sort of tags belonging to someone.
If it's chipped, you can go ahead and make an investigation check on the owl. Mika, I also think I saw your hand up. Okay, just making sure. So, what was the investigation check before we do this? Because this will be a whole thing. What was that?
10.
10. It does not appear to be collar tagged in any particular way. Usually it would be around the ankle, but nothing appears to be there.
Okay.
Okay. You are mind linked with this owl, Corin.
So hey, buddy. Did you enjoy your flight?
I need to check something real quick here because I'm pretty sure there's a clause in, I almost said who, but the thing is that you don't necessarily need to speak the same language as whatever you're doing in order to make sure it works. So let me check something real. This fucking ass tree bullshit. For 1 hour until the end, the ability must be able to see. You can only one creature at a time. Give it to another creature that has it.
Does not.
You don't need to share a language with the creature for it to understand your telepathic utterances, but the creature must be able to understand at least one language. So this motherfucker just goes, whoo. It also looks as though it is looking around for the inspection of the sound.
I want to ask it to hoot once if it understands me, twice for no.
It doesn't say anything.
I'm going to stuff this bird.
Okay. Roll animal handling.
Oh, God. 16?
16. I don't know what stuff this bird means. I'm pretty sure you meant kill and then stuff it and then keep it around like a pack or something like that. I just had you make that roll for fun. What do you want to do with this thing?
I would like to go ahead and pick it up.
Okay. How do you pick it up?
Nicely, gingerly, and I'm going to walk back to the group with it. And I'm going to tell everybody that our friend has come to say hello, but it appears to either be some sort of scrying owl or something. I can't communicate with this thing.
You pick up this owl and bring it over to the group. As you do so, you're currently picking it up where its eyes are facing away from you, and as you're like showing it off to the group, its head just turns around and starts looking at you again. And its head kind of does that like chicken thing where it auto stabilizes, like where its body moves but the head stays in one area.
Nope.
I think the owl loves you.
I don't think it does. Listen, I haven't been able to talk to this thing at all, and it's been following us for at least a couple of hours, and it landed on the little rock thing over there with the, the scritchy scratch lantern thing in it.
Rachel's flipping her shit over.
Sorry, I was like, I have Path of the Totem Warrior. So I was like, maybe that has something to do with animals. And then I'm like looking at all my stuff, and it's a spirit seeker. You can cast beast sense and speak with animals as rituals.
Yes.
We're having a conversation with the owl.
I was looking at all my stuff. I was like,
It's like, what do I have for animals?
I was like, I can actually do something.
Turn its head sort of towards it so that it looks at her.
Okay.
Yeah,
As
I'll
you
cast
do,
that as
you're
a
at-
ritual.
Okie dokie. As Corn
my
is
God.
turning the head back around so that it's facing Mika, you just hear, no, I'm kidding. He doesn't kill the owl.
What?
Alrighty. You go ahead and cast it as a ritual. 11 minutes later, you have speak with, fuck me. Hey, Charlotte, you know the Fez? I need, thank you. Appreciate it.
This is going to be the greatest.
The feds? No, don't call the feds, Charlotte. It's just an owl.
No.
It's not an endangered species. It's a barn owl, Charlotte.
Who? She's either found it or it's way too far up in the closet for her to get. Either way, holy shit. All right. As you cast the spell, eventually it takes hold and you can feel the link with this animal made.
yes.
Excellent. Like that it's on your headphones.
No.
I kind of like, let's see if, this is wildly uncomfortable.
No, don't. No, it was better on the headphones.
No.
It was so funny.
Listen, we got to commit.
Commit
All
to
right.
bit.
I'm going for the, like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll? Like,
I got
look,
that vibe.
as long as it's coming through. Otherwise, this joke is going to be unfunny for a lot of people.
Oh my God. Okay. So it lasts for 10 minutes. I gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited by their intelligence, but at minimum, beasts can give you information about nearby locations and monsters, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the past day. You might be able to persuade a beast to perform a small favor for you at the GM's direction. So I'll start with, hello, friend.
Hello.
Why have you followed us all this way?
I was directed to.
By whom?
By my master Marco.
Ah,
He means to keep an eye on you on your first adventure.
did he say why?
He said something about sensitive information and to make sure that you are able to do your job successfully and to report back if you fall.
That is good. Will you accompany us into the building?
Fuck no.
Oh, all right. Will you keep watch here?
I will follow you.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you for your honesty. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
We have at least 9 more minutes. You don't want to ask me about how my day was?
What's your favorite kind of rat to eat? Do you hunt rats? Like, what's your gig, bud?
I usually don't ask the rat what it is before I eat it.
It's just, well, do you eat like anything else? Like, what do you hunt? What's your...
You know what? You're right. It was nice talking to you. You have a nice day.
Wait, could you ask him something for me?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
yes, I can.
Where he got that hat and why?
Yeah. Who gave you the hat?
You're mocking me now, I see.
I am. You mocked me first. No, I don't say that.
Does he have any other helpful information? Like, What has he seen as an owl? What's it like as an owl?
How many licks does it take to get to the center of it?
The important questions here. I'll ask for Kerbal's sake. Like, what is it like to be an owl?
I gotta tell you, being out in the daylight, it's not great. I prefer to hunt when nothing else can see me. You kind of just sneak up on something and then bam, it's dead. I like hunting bats. Big fan of bats. Bats usually come in at night, though.
That would be easier for you to hunt then, I'm guessing.
Ask him if Marco is a good master and if he's seen Marco do anything suspicious.
Ooh. I'll ask exactly what she said.
He kind of like looks to him. He's like, Marco gave me this hat, and he feeds me pretty regularly. So I suppose he's a good master. As far as suspicious, I mean, one time I saw him let a rat go free, and that's kind of strange.
Well, that's bad for you, but good, and I guess maybe for us, he's humane. I don't know. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Did he see anyone else following us?
I asked that.
You did not. Although he does say, nope, just you on the road. He also takes out his timepiece, kind of looks at it. He's like, this is taking a while. Stuffs it back in his feathers.
Oh, it's a timepiece.
Now
I've seen everything.
He's like,
when does this fucking spell end? I set real life timers when that shit happens.
I also tell Kerbal that being an owl is a lot like being like you. They're sneaky.
Oh, can we be best friends?
Would you care to be best friends with my friend here?
The owl looks over it at Kerbal. Kerbal, go ahead and just for the fuck of it, make an animal handling check.
Amazing.
Charlotte, do not use this as the thumbnail. No! 18! He's like, the owl looks at Kerbal, looks back to you, looks back at Kerbal, looks back to you and says, her eyes are as big as my eyes. We can be friends.
You're in. All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Will you tell the owl that that's actually a little boy?
That's. Excuse me, that's a boy. How dare you?
Thanks, Abra.
He's very close to the ground. It's hard to see.
No, I'll leave this poor fezzed owl alone.
Alrighty. As you do so, you realize that Corin is still holding on to that bird.
Please set him down very gently.
I will go ahead and place him back on the rock on which I found him.
Yeah,
He's placed. He merely just kind of looks at each of you and then the spell fades.
That was great.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hopefully the viewers did. All two of them. And so the owl remains on that little perch. Nobody asked its name. I'm glad.
What is its name? Now that you so care,
Theodore Roosevelt. No.
That's the show. Thanks for coming, everybody.
I'm sorry. I had to think of one right off the bat, and I'm like, just do a president, but make it an animal. Okay. Do you guys want to go down the path? Because with that investigation check you saw earlier, Corin, you are able to see a path that leads inwards of it. It's not a direct, like, lined path. There's not like a walkway there, but you can tell in the way that the branches are disturbed and certain things are marked on trees that you can walk this direction and eventually reach some sort of dwelling.
I think we should head that way, and that's definitely a better name than Heward Taft.
Okay, make a survival check. I'm glad Charlotte's laughing. That makes me feel better.
17. You
guys are able to follow Corin as you guys go deeper and deeper into the forest. Eventually, you come across a fine clearing, and there looks to be a single hall with a small turret in the back. it looks unguarded, but lived in. There are lights on inside the windows, and you can clearly see that the door, red painted, looks like it is currently serviced pretty often. There's no like weeds or cobwebs growing over this place, but this appears to be the residence that you were told to go to.
So my plan is to like sneaky, stabby, clean up the blood and run. Should we do that?
Mika?
I like the sneaky part because you're the best that I've ever seen at that, Kerbal. But if we don't have to clean up any blood, that would make this a lot easier.
Okay.
I do have the growth potion. This is really not my usual brand of just general going abouts, but I could, there's asphyxiation, could
Oh, smart.
But just whatever's I don't care if this is a bad person. Quick end would be the best. Less blood, less cleanup for us.
That's
Hopefully he
smart.
doesn't suffer too much, even if he's not great. Could be worth a shot. Maybe quieter. I don't know.
Well, yeah. What do you think, Abra?
I am definitely on Maka's side. Let's keep the blood to a minimum if we can. That was pretty much what was made clear to us, is to make this killing as clean as possible, if you remember. So
Marco said that there was stuff, right? There was stuff that you guys could, magic stuff that the two of you maybe should go ahead, like, I don't know, sneak and see if you can disable it.
yeah, I'm down to see what I can figure out.
I'd like to at least just maybe like watch and observe the house for an hour or two, just to make sure that there's nobody else coming, going, wandering around, witnesses.
Sure, I'll let you go ahead and make a perception check with advantage because you're taking an hour to really spend a time on this and see what you get. That's going to be a dirty 20. There it is. See, I'm both happy that I was able to predict it and upset.
It's right there.
I believe you. Oh my gosh, you have beautiful gold dice. I have
nice.
a very similar dice. Real quick, can we just pause story real quick? What dice is everyone using tonight? Just like do the like makeup tutorial thing. Oh, actually have on the side here.
Wait.
Black and gold.
So
I don't know.
I'm actually using the D&D Beyond dice. I ordered a new set, but I'm in Atlanta, which is not where.
Which D&D Beyond dice, Caroline? Or D&D Beyond, not D&D Wizard. Okay. Oh, you're using the thing. Oh, got it.
I'm sorry to single out Caroline on that one. I'm sorry.
I know, call out. Not a real player.
I thought you meant these, which I think they look like.
What the fuck is
on
that
the
thing?
Oh my
It's
God.
from D&D Live. It's D&D Beyond, D&D
Live
Wizards
dice.
or whatever dice.
Oh my
I have
gosh.
like a baby toy D&D dice. It's
They're
just
like, I have a whole massive like set of them I got from D&D Live last year.
Way to go, Rachel.
Tried.
Well,
Yeah.
now that we've all been dice
oh,
shamed,
those are
Fun.
pretty.
Why do you have so
Oh.
many? Oh my god.
Oh, I have this. Wait, I think I have the same bag. Does it have the little guy?
I regret my question.
Oh no, mine is a pin that I got. My friend got me a warlock one because I play a warlock on a stream, and these are good berries.
I've been
Love
saying,
good berries.
eat your dice, people. I've been saying it for years. I'll say it till the day I die. Eat your dice. Okay.
Oh,
not a
the
crime.
dice that Allison got me for Monster of the Week, they
It's
look
amazing.
like candy.
I keep telling people that. I really hope nobody eats their dice. Okay. After an hour, you can surmise there's Rachel, please don't die.
There's a reason why they put choking hazards on those. It's because of him.
I don't see it anywhere on here. After an hour of observing this home, this fortress looks to be undisturbed. There's definitely like a movement within there, but you never see more than just a single shadow moving around. This person appears to live by themselves, and they certainly don't get many visitors. The one noticeable exception that you have of anything drawing to this area is the owl that lands on a branch nearby you guys and just nervously whoos every once in a while.
Give us away.
And it makes direct eye contact with you.
To the owl.
Yeah. He does the thing where he can turn his head all the way around and then turns it all the way the other way and then puts it straight. You have no idea what that can mean. Note to self, don't put more any more animals on the show unless it's a snake. Snakes are funny. So what's the plan here? Are we going stealthy? Are you going to go ahead and enlarge and then break someone's neck?
I can stealth and like grab him or distract him or do something crazy so that you can come in unsuspected and strangle him.
Well, I mean, I could just cast a minor illusion and do that.
Oh yeah, do that.
That works.
Okay. So I'm going to cast a minor illusion with a range of 30 feet.
Yep.
Can it go through walls?
It cannot. You have to go inside the area first if you're going to continue doing anything that you want to see, have them see from the outside.
Okay. I can disguise myself as the gardener and just start doing maybe some trimming of the plants and maybe create a minor illusion at that point to get you all in. How does that work?
Yeah, or you could draw him out because maybe the cleanup would be easier if he was outside.
Okay.
In Kerbal's mind.
That's valid.
Well, it all begins with an action, and someone's got to take one.
All right. I'm going to cast the spell of disguise oneself and as a gardener and knock on the door.
You knock on the door, and you hear someone say, "Coming!" And you hear a lot of different sounds as they're coming to the door. You can hear like, but it's not on the door itself. It sounds like they're disarming traps. And eventually they come, you see like a small little hole appear, gnome-sized, that opens up and just, "Who is it? What do you want?"
Hi, it's Camilla, the gardener.
Make a
I know
deception.
I'm not the usual one you have, but my boss is sick right now, so I'm here.
Go ahead
I'm
and make
really
it.
good with flowers.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
That would be a 22.
Of fucking course it is. You hear from within. They're like, "The gardener, yes, of course you are. You have all the gardening things. Well, you have seen the garden. It is in fact outside. You can go ahead and garden, and I will. Yes, I will pay you. I will pay you. Yes.
Is the back gate open? I saw some roses. They don't look so good right now.
It's, you can hear like a like, let me go ahead and head outside. And he begins to kind of like go outside, and you see it is in fact a gnome. He looks a little bit like that guy from He-Man. He has like, he's balding, gray hair, red robe. He kind of moves around, almost kind of shuffles as he walks, and he kind of moves over to the back. He's like, "Where are these roses that you saw?"
In the back. I'm also a gnome because I'm a gardener, and that makes sense in the D&D world. A garden gnome, gardener gnome. And I'm very cute. So I also use my charm a person spell.
Oh yeah, you want to do that right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okie dokie, go ahead and do so. Let me go ahead and find out where I have everything I need except for the only thing that I needed. Here you are. Come here. Okay. Go. So you're going to go ahead and he has to make a save of some sort, if I'm not mistaken.
Wisdom.
Oh, you got to be shitting me. Really? You dumb motherfucker. Okay. Yeah, it would be. Let me know what I have to save for.
Roll a wisdom.
How wise is this guy? 12. What's your DC?
12.
If it goes to the roller, so in this case he will succeed. So as you cast the spell, you said, I believe you have to touch someone in order to charm them. I might be wrong, which seems kind of counter. If you're trying to charm someone, the last thing I would imagine you do is actually touch a person. But oh no, you don't have to touch him, which is great. Good for you. You go ahead and you cast the spell, and you can see like this kind of orangish aura begin to like fall over them, and then it's just kind of wash off of him a little bit. He's like, "What was that? What was that just now? What was that feeling?"
Oh, sorry, that was some of the plant spray I have. It leaked a little bit.
Make another deception check for me.
That's going to be an 18.
Alrighty. He's like, right, plant spray, because you're a gardener. Mika.
I'm a gardener.
A garden. No. At this point, how distracted do they look, and how far away are they from the front door?
They're roughly around the other side of this building. So they're a good distance away at this point. So if you wanted to like sneak into the house, you are able to do so with a lot of ease.
I'll ask the other two. I'll ask Kerbal and Corin, like, should we go inside? So that if he goes back inside, like we're
and sneaky. Yeah.
Okay.
Just watch out for traps, maybe.
That's Kerbal's good at that.
Not the magic ones.
They're still sneaky though.
You guys are going into this area. You want to sneak in, or do you want to just walk in brazenly?
I don't know if you've met me, but
yes,
I'm
I have.
With
yes.
very large set of armor and not so much sneaky.
Then should Kerbal and I go in, and you stay here to help if things go crazy out here?
Kind of what I was thinking.
Okay, then Kerbal and I will
stay outside to be the finalizing muscle, I suppose.
All righty. Y'all are going to go ahead and enter on it. I'd like stealth checks. Oh, that's terrible. Fuck. Laura's face whenever she has to make a roll. Was it not a 20 this time? We have to break this.
No, it was a 22.
I would be very unhappy.
It was a 13.
Total?
Yes.
Oh man, well I rolled a 9 total, so
Things are finally coming up, Bradley.
sneaky.
So as you two wander in here, what happens is this: Kerbal is able to kind of sneak in, more of just like a quick run over into the interior of this place. The door's still left open. It's a 40-foot hall that enters out into a circular area. Real quick, I want to pause right here. Laura, Caroline, I promise I'm not a one-map guy. You've seen this particular area before. Just going to go ahead and nip that in the bud real quick.
No judgments here.
Just making sure. Usually we have different ones. I found a good way to repurpose this, and I wanted to boost our man cantrip maps who Maybe we'll get to see that. Kerbal, you make it into this area, and you don't seem to alert anyone. Mika, as you're walking through, the owl tries to follow you, and you're just kind of like, no, go away. And it's like, and like it goes back over to where Corin is, a healthy distance away from him. But the sound is nonetheless heard. And from where you're standing, Abra, you can see the gnome kind of look over. He's like, what was that? It sounded like an owl. Owls are unseasonable this time of year. I better go ahead and check something. You go ahead and you do the gardening bit. And I'll come back in whatever's a normal amount of time. Walks over to the front of the area to go in. Corin, you could see him approaching and turning around. It is at this point, I think it would be prevalent to go ahead and share the wonderful map made by Cantrip Maps. We could just figure out for 5 fucking seconds how to. There it is. Sure, it's like every day, every time that you play, it's always the same. Okay, then Command Shift F. Damn it. Hey, there we go. So go ahead and ignore, Kerbal is right there. Abra is on the side of the house. So realistically, she's actually further up here. Like right around there.
Cool.
Corin, you're located back. Kerbal, you make it in with Mika around right there. So now that we have all this kind of spread, well, you know what? Let me go ahead and go. There. Actually, it'd probably be a better idea to put you over here. There we go. Now we're all happy. Yeah. There. This is how I like everything. Okay. So, as you two enter in, you see this long 40-foot hallway that leads out into a larger area. Looks to be a pretty modest location, not a lot of things. There seems to be a trunk in the far corner of this area. If you guys want to continue going further, you've got about, I don't know, maybe 2 rounds before he approaches.
Yeah, I'm down to keep moving in.
Yeah, same.
Alrighty. You both go ahead and enter in quieter. And now that you've got some distance, you can hide yourselves a little bit better over in this location just because there's more edges. There is a trunk in the corner of this room right over here that we weren't able to place in. If you want to investigate that, you can. Otherwise, you can lie in wait.
Kerbal, do you want to check it for traps or anything?
Yeah, I'll check
look
for
inside.
traps.
Okay, make an investigation check.
$17.
17. So, as you move up to this trunk, you go ahead and you inspect it for anything that could like fire back out at you. And as you look in, you can see that there's like a bit of fabric through the keyhole. In fact, this entire lid is unlocked. You could easily just open it.
Ooh, okay. I'll open it.
You do so, and inside you see a red-robed figure who is balding. It's a gnome. He's dead. It's the exact same gnome that was outside.
I knew something was fishy here.
So while you're dealing with that, let's go ahead and go back out to Corin. Corin, you're about to see the gnome enter into this area. What do you want to do?
That's a good question.
If you need more time, we can go to Abra.
I would like to go ahead and wait on my turn. Yeah, give me a half a second to come up with something here.
Sure, you got it. Ignore that. It's fine.
Too late.
Abra, do you want to stay on the side of the house?
Sure.
Alrighty.
Am I still talking to him? I mean, I feel like my main mission right now is just to keep him distracted while they can start snooping, right?
Yes. Your whole thing was to distract. He's gone towards the entrance of the hallway now.
Oh, he's left me to tend to the roses.
Yeah, like he went ahead and left you there and said he'll be right back.
Okay. Are there any windows near me?
There is. Yes, there is one window. It's on the top of the building. If you have a way of getting up there, or if you indeed want to climb up there, you're welcome to try.
I'm gonna spider climb up to the window.
Okay, you have spider climb?
Yeah, I'm killing it.
That's bit. Yeah, I'm awesome. Okay. You cast spider climb, and you can just like walk up this area over to the windows that are on the top. Obviously, they're going to be these ones over here. Oh wait, yeah, where the sun is shining in.
Okay.
There is really only one way in through these because they do not open on their own. It looks like they are just to let light into this room.
So I would have to break it.
Yeah, girl, you got to make a decision. Oh, yes. Yeah, give me just a second, Mika. I see your hand. You can decide now or later when you want to break it, if you want to break it to get in.
But I can see everything that's going on down there. At the
Oh,
moment.
yeah. You can see Kerbal and Mika lying in wait. You can see now the gentleman is beginning to enter in. Hang on a second. Let me go ahead and get him. Pudgy McPudgeons. There he is. Entered into the area. He is walking now. He'll be there in a couple rounds.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna knock on the window and let Kerbal and Mika know that I'm up there, just to be like, "Yo, you need me." Just know in the back of your mind.
What Mako was gonna do was like do the like point to the chest. Can she see the chest from up there?
Yeah, you can go ahead and see her pointing to the chest. You cannot hear them though.
But can I see what's in the chest?
You know what? I'll go ahead and say make an investigation check.
Okay.
And I'm like doing like the cross arms, like
I can't hear you. I rolled a 13.
You cannot, from your vantage point, see what is inside the chest. It is in this corner where the light isn't shining in, and you're looking in through like I forget what the exact effect is called, but it's too bright outside for you to really see the interior details of anything inside.
Okay.
Who had the thing that could keep people from scrying on us? Because we should pop that.
Given to Kerbal.
Okay. I'll say, Kerbal, pop the like scrying thing.
Okay. I do it.
Okay. You go ahead and loop your finger through the ring of this thing. You pull it off and you see it's almost kind of like opening up a can of like Red Bull, and you can see like a pop come out and a bright green light kind of fizzle out of there as you kind of drop it on the ground. You assume that's how it works.
Okay. Great. I'll go ahead and drink the storm growth, or not storm growth, a potion of growth.
Okay. Do you understand how this works?
It says when you drink this potion, you gain the enlarge effect of the enlarge reduce spell for 1d4 hours. No concentration required.
Alrighty. If I'm not mistaken, you are, yes.
Okay.
You are, so there's a few things to consider here, which I'd like to go over just for the folks who are watching at home.
Perfect.
First and foremost, you were a dwarf. You were born a dwarf. And until, any reasonable expectation, you're going to stay a dwarf. And if I could just find it in the PHP. Here we go. You count as a medium. Okay, so you're going to turn into a large creature. A large creature would make you this big. So we're going to go ahead and put you there. You go ahead and drink the potion. You are enlarged. Aber, you are currently on one of these window panes. I'm going to go ahead and just adjust it and mark you as like, let's say this to show that you are on the ceiling still.
Cool.
I guess I could look it up. The enlarge reduce spell. Does that give benefits for strength?
I believe it does. The enlarge reduce spell. Here we go. If you are enlarged, you double in all dimensions. Your weight is multiplied by 8. You turn to size large. If there isn't enough room, you fit to make the max amount of space possible. Until it ends, you have advantage on strength checks and saving throws. Your weapons grow also, and it deals an extra D4 damage.
Heck yeah.
Fuck yes.
Buff dwarf.
Buff dwarf. So
yeah, I'm just ready to.
I gotcha. You drunk your potion. You found the body. You're on top of the glass. Corin, I'm back to you. The gentleman has entered into the area. Repeat, the gentleman has entered into the area.
Yeah, he's already entered in. I was gonna try to grab him as he came in, but apparently that ship has sailed. So I'm going to go ahead and not feeling very stealthy. So I don't feel like I could sneak in behind him. I'm gonna wait until maybe he gets out of earshot and then slowly try to follow him in from behind to trap him in the middle. But
sure, you can wait.
Definitely not following up right behind him.
I got you. How far away do you want to stay in terms of feet? In increments of 5, please. Do not say 23 feet. You will break my brain and this computer.
Let me go ahead and stay back maybe 25 feet. So.
All right. So right about there.
Almost a turn. Yeah.
I will take a stealth roll nonetheless, just because you're trying to trail behind him.
Yes,
I've just adjusted the DC just in case.
That is going to be an 11.
11. Very good, sir. Very good. Okay. As you're walking in, he gets to about here, and you about here before he. Yes, Mr. Nolan.
That was supposed to be with disadvantage. Do I need to roll twice?
You do, yes.
Okay.
I thought you had.
Nope, sorry.
It's all right.
That's literally the same roll. It's 11 twice. So.
Okay.
Carry on.
You get to about here, and actually, he's able to take notice of you before he actually gets into the area where he's able to see Mika. He turns around and he says, "Who are you? What are you doing in my house?"
I'm the garden gnome supervisor. She came to cut the rose bushes. I'm just here to collect the check, and we'll be on the way. I have to, it's a garden gnome. She's rather small, can't carry the tools easily. I'm just a pack mule, so to speak. If we can just get that check, and we'll be out of your hair.
Go ahead and make a deception check. Also, what's a check?
Ye old bank.
That is an 18.
He's like, if that is true, then why do you carry a sword with you? And if that's also true, where are all the equipment that you're supposed to be carrying? No, something about this is wrong.
Well, the sword. Have you seen some people's hedges these days? Honestly, some of these plants get out of control.
Mika?
At this point, he's turned around, right? He's not facing me anymore. He's looking at.
That's correct. Yes.
Lauren. I would like to try and get up behind him, and it's really bad, but I'd like to try and strangle him if possible.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and
where the tools are, she's got him out back. And just
for the absolute shit of it, Mika, go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Okay. Oh, 21. Oh my God.
It's fucking hilarious how you can just, as this distraction is happening, you walk on over quietly. It's like, but you're twice your size. God. And as you reach behind, go ahead and make a grapple check.
Is this plus strength? Or is this just like a straight roll?
No. Yeah, this is an athletics check. You're going to go ahead and roll with advantage.
Okay. Athletics?
Okay. Is that cocked or is it not? Yeah, athletics.
Oh,
it's not cocked.
23.
23. Very good. He also rolled a 23. Because as you grab this creature, as you grab this gnome, like around his neck, you start to like put pressure on, and you can just see, you can see the head, almost like the owls, turn around to face you in the eyes. He says, "Oh, I guess we're not hiding anymore." And you can see like all of his arms like snap backwards from the elbows forward. You can see all the fingers start to bend back in another direction as he begins to grow this red fur upon his arms. You can see his face kind of turn this bluish color, and 2 large tusks start to protrude from his lower jaw as he grows also in size. I would like everybody to roll initiative, baby. Go ahead and put it into the chat so I know where everybody's at. Ooh. Somebody's gonna
What's
get
mine?
paid.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Oh, into the Roll20 or the Zoom chat?
The Zoom chat.
Okay.
Ooh.
I apologize if it turned off my camera. I'm using
No,
my
you
phone.
fucking did not, Carolyn.
I did.
Caroline.
I rolled a 20.
Okay. So those
A
of you-
natural 20, Caroline?
Yeah.
She's using the Roll20 dice. So I mean that's
Heck
No,
yeah.
I'm getting
you know.
some crummy rolls too. I just lucked out.
Yeah, no, you did. Because those dice, when I've used them, are awful. So
No, the other night I could not roll a double digit even
the whole time.
yes. So
Must have got the Roll20 add-on for the improved.
for the weighted
plus
virtual
improved, yeah.
dice.
They're selling a new subscription these days.
You know?
They're real.
I'll send you guys screenshots of all my rolls.
For the record, I believe you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. We have Abra, the creature. I almost said Karen. Corin, Mika, and Kerbal.
I'd like to speak to the manager, please.
You have that haircut now, Cannon.
Oh my God.
Abra, you are located up here in the ramparts on top of the window. Do you want to like Dark Knight this and just like crash to the floor?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm going to go ahead and have you make a dex roll, but you can easily just like use 5 feet of your movement to break in through this window to fall. But make a dex roll for me to see if you fall prone.
Okay.
That's going to be a lot of cleanup.
19.
19. You are able to fall to the ground. It's not a distance that would incur damage. So you break down through the glass and fall through the ceiling in a, oh no, put the wrong thing. Hopefully nobody can see that part. Okay. You are now on the ground floor. Demons, dead gnomes, and broken glass. You have 25 feet of movement remaining. You can see that Mika was trying to grab what looks to be a gigantic gorilla-like creature. Actually, go ahead and make a religion check and roll with advantage for me, just as a free action.
7, so and 14.
Okay. You know this to be a fiend. It's called a Balgara. And you know that because of specifically your pact.
Okay. To attack him, I'm gonna need to get around makeup really before I can do anything.
Okay. So where do you want to go?
Is that the case?
Well, currently, if you're like using a attack action, you need to be within 5 feet. But if you want to use like an Eldritch Blast, I'd say you just need to make it to this square here.
I have a crossbow, is what I'm thinking. Would I be able to? Okay.
Same thing. You would get line of sight from being there.
Okay, great. I will do that then.
All right. I'll go ahead and move you the extra 15 feet to be here, and you can attack with a crossbow.
Okay. 19.
19 will hit, and the damage?
3.
3 damage. Okay. Alrighty. So as like this tug of war is beginning between Mika and the Balgara, there's this that enters into its arm. It kind of like looks over. It's like, what the? Hey! And it kind of looks over at you. Do you have a bonus action or movement you'd like to take? You've got.
No, I'm okay.
Cool. Next up, the Balgara. So, I get to play with so many different things. First of all, without a doubt, gonna go reckless because that's fun, and we're gonna make advantage attacks first at Mika because I think that's funny. Okay, that's a 9 and a natural 20.
Oh, great.
So it gets to make 1 with a bite and 2 with its fist. Let's go ahead and make this one the bite. So that's 2d6 plus 4.
Woof.
7, 14, 20. That is 18 points of piercing damage.
Excellent.
So as
That's
it bites,
just the bite.
Yep. As it bites into you, it's going to go ahead and move. Can I get around you? Technically not, because you're controlling that area.
Oh,
this is
he still restrained by me? Oh, the grapple was the same.
Yeah.
Like we tied.
I need you to get out of my way is the problem.
No, absolutely not.
We can do this the easy way. Long jump is 40 feet. Its high jump is 20. Nope, can't. Okay, fine. You know what? I can take an attack. You're not even raging yet. I'm going to go ahead and turn him around. Oh, wait. He was already turned around. He was around the entirely the wrong way. All right. We're going to go ahead and move here. You can go ahead and make an attack of opportunity.
I'd like to try and grapple him again.
All
Keep
out.
him, like grab him by the neck. This is, again, athletics with advantage?
Correct.
Okay. Excellent. 19 plus 6 for 25.
All right, you can keep him there. So his speed is there, but he can still attack you. So as he tries to leave away, you go ahead and grab him as he's trying to leave. He's going to turn around and with his fist twice just try to strike at you. That first one is going to be a 14 plus
it's
7.
Going to hit.
Cool. So then let's go ahead and roll. That's going to be 10 points of bludgeoning damage as he punches into your face.
Excellent.
And then we're going to go ahead and do that one more. Nope, copyright. Okay, that first one was a 3, and that second one was an 8, which gives me a 15.
That meets, so it'll hit.
6 points of damage.
Dang.
Both punches just, he's like, let go! All attacks have advantage on him if you're using... All attack rolls have advantage against him until the start of the next turn because he did that recklessly. And we move on to Corin.
One question before we get started here. Mika,
sure.
What is your AC? Or what's your AC?
That's never a good question.
It's 15.
How you feeling on health?
He took out 3/4 of it already.
Oh no.
Pretty much. On a scale of 1 to 45, I'm at on a 0 to 45, I'm at an 11.
Wow. Cool.
Okay, and you. Okay.
Gonna have to make a decision here.
I'm gonna have to make a decision.
Did he freeze?
No, sorry, that was just my brain.
Oh, that's the best way to think of a plan now that we're doing digital. We're just like.
Well, now that I've discovered, Caroline.
Just kidding. Okay. Wasn't really what I was hoping to do turn 1, but I would like to go ahead and cast Protection from Good and Evil on Mika.
Okay.
Bless. Thank you.
This seems like a better play than what I was going to do the other 2 options that I had. So I have to touch her, though.
Yeah, you got to run around, my boy. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and she controls this area. Yeah, you can get to about here and do it.
Let's do it.
Done deal. He goes ahead and he's like, tag, you're safe. So now we'll under this. Mika, I'm telling this to you.
Mm-hmm.
Attack rolls against you. So it's okay. So he's a fiend. So yes, he has disadvantage on all attack rolls against you. You can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. And that's it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Thank you. I was like, Corin.
Yeah, really just hoping to help you out with the disadvantage. I was gonna, I don't know. There was another thing that I was gonna do, but it wasn't. I don't know. Whatever. We'll find out how that works.
There are cool moves, and then there are good moves, and I consider that a good move if 3/4 of our health are down. Alrighty, as that's action. That's movement. I don't think you have a bonus action worth noting, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that's Mika's turn. Mika, what would you like to do? There's one right answer to this.
Yeah. I still don't really want to have to clean up. I don't know. Mako would know this. I don't know if Barl girls bleed. So
There is one way to find out.
I think at this point it's just it's not quite the gnome we thought we were dealing with. So I will I would have advantage on an attack roll since he did reckless, right?
Yes, you would.
Okay, I think first I'll bonus action rage.
Cool.
I was thinking about taking a health potion. I was like, YOLO. So I'm gonna rage, and then I'm going to attack him with my great axe.
Okay.
With advantage.
Wait, before you go, your great axe is a two-handed weapon. In order to make that attack, you have to let go of the grapple, which you can do as a free action.
Oh, I forgot I was grappling him. Can I try to just choke him out? Is that since I have advantage on strength checks and saving throws and an extra D4, right?
Yes. The thing is that when you're trying to choke someone out in D&D, when you're trying to choke a bitch in D&D, specifically speaking, there's not a roll that you make for that. My homebrew is you have to choke them out successfully for a number of rounds equal to the Constitution score that they have. So I'm not going to tell you how many rounds it will take for them to fall unconscious and then for you to kill them with that. But you can try. You've got to succeed, and they're going to try to break out of your grasp each time.
Let's guess that it's probably going to be more than 4.
Yeah. I don't think snapping his neck is quite an option either. That's more flavor text.
I will say, I will give you this out. If you're worried about the bloodshed, I could at least point out that there is a rug in this area. So
That's
if you
true.
want, you can just kind of roll it up, mafia style.
No one has prestidigitation.
I should have sold that as a fucking wand. Wand of prestidigitation. Cadman, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll let him go so that I can get my great axe out and hit him with my rage.
Woo, I'm free. Ha! No.
Oh, I had already rolled.
Yeah.
For my great axe. Is that
use the roll you have if you remember what it is.
13 was the better roll. It was a 13 and a 7. So 13 plus 6, 19.
19 hits. What's the damage?
So I'm gonna have to do all the math.
So it is a D12. Yeah. It is a D4, and then it is add your strength plus D4. 2.
Add my strength plus 2. So I have the D12, D4, plus strength plus 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Barbarians.
8. 12. 14.
14 damage?
Yeah.
Shitstickles.
Yes.
Okay. You go ahead and you kind of spinning this, you let go of the Balgura only to tap the bit of your great axe onto the floor and then swing it overhead so it slices into its shoulder and it kind of roars out in pain, kind of leans into it as the black ichor begins to kind of drip, not on the carpet, but it begins to drip.
Great. Awesome. That's my action, bonus action. I'm not going to move anywhere.
Aces.
That's it.
Kirby.
Okay. I'm going to run up to him and kind of try and jump up on him so it's not the low part of his body that gets stabbed because I don't want any blood. But I go dagger.
Okay, real quick. Only issue is your distance. You're over here.
Oh, I'm
25 feet of movement puts you right about there. But you can throw the dagger.
I will. I'll short bow. I'll just one short bow.
Okay, you have advantage because it used reckless, and because you have advantage, and also because there's 5 feet within an enemy of it, you will go ahead and activate your sneak attack button.
Sneak attack? Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah, it satisfies all the requirements, and then some.
I can deal with that. 19.
19 will hit, and the damage.
Sweet.
Rolls 1,000 dice.
Yes. And then it's short bow.
12. Okay. Wait, 12 damage? Holy shit.
Yes.
Okay. You go ahead and you take a well-aimed shot with the short bow. As it fires, it goes ahead and strikes right into underneath the eye of this Balgara. Actually, you can kind of see it kind of push it out of place as it sticks in and kind of just roars out in pain like, oh, shit! My God, shitting eye! Bonus action and movement?
I'm just gonna say ha and stay where I am.
Okay, that's brave of you. Abra, we go back to your turn. You still have line of sight through this narrow little passage right here.
Um,
On deck is the Balgara and then Corin.
I guess I'm gonna crossbow again.
All right.
Yeah, everything I have is gonna affect everybody else. So
Well, if you mean like you have an area of effect, either you have a cone or you can do an AoE behind him to only hit him.
I could like breath weapon him without affecting.
What color dragon are you?
Acid. I'm black.
Oh, okay. So if you're a black dragon, then I believe
It's not a cone.
it's not. Ooh, I don't know about black dragonborns. Let me take a look. Because I want you to do the
While you're
thing.
looking, I'll sing, "Whoa, black dragon." Then
Amba lamb. Fuck. It is a line. Yeah, so you can snake it through to hit him in a direct line right there. I'll say sure.
yeah, I would love to spit some acid. I feel like that's kind of messy, but it could be worse. Like at this point, we're just committing to, cleaning up everything.
Okay. So the DC for the saving throw, and it's going to be dexterity for this bad boy, is 8 plus your con modifier plus your proficiency bonus. At level 4, I think it's 2 plus 8, so 10 plus whatever your constitution modifier is.
Okay. Oh, 12.
Cool. I rolled a natural 20.
Well,
So on a save, he gets half damage. So let's see here. You can roll 2d6.
okay. 8. So 4.
Okay. I was looking here because demons have weird resistances. I'm like, oh, they might be immune to acid. And I look over, they're like, oh, that's the only one that they're not. So as you spew this, and kind of snaking through both Corin and Mika, it's able to kind of dodge. You can see it spatter upon this kind of like back wall right here. But the bit that does get on him begins to eat away, and you can start to see like areas where it was cut from like the shoulder to its arm begin to tear away and reveal like bone underneath. It kind of like howls as it's like, bonus action and movement.
I'm just gonna step a little bit to my right if I can.
Sure, right here.
Oh, I mean my right, so the left. Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. Next up we have the Balgara. Okay. I'm currently covered in acid. I've been cut apart by this fucking dwarf. Now, yeah, let's go ahead and take out the dwarf. That's the problem. I'll go ahead and go reckless again.
Everybody say bye to Mika.
No.
That is a 16
No,
plus 7. That'll be, oh, wait, it's with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Okay,
Disadvantage.
so it gets advantage using reckless. So this would just be a straight
okay.
roll. I'm going to
Easy.
re-roll if that's cool with everyone just to see what it is.
That's your call.
You rolled a 5, so 12.
No, that misses.
Okay. As he goes to like chomp at you, he kind of like bites into this like aura that has been placed over by Corin. And looking at where the holy energy goes and putting 2 to 2 together, he's going to go ahead and take both of his fists and try to strike down at Corin. Let's
No.
go.
No.
I rolled a 1 and a 5. That's 12.
Hey!
Boof.
All right. One more hit to see if I can do this.
No.
Okay. That's a 3 and a 5. What happened all day?
Hey!
Fuck you guys. I'm out of here. I'm going to go ahead and use
Awesome.
his climb speed. So that's going to be 5, 10, and then 15. I'm going to drop him down. I can't go in the same space. Let's go 20. I'm going to go ahead and move him. Oh, 25.
Does that incur an attack of opportunity?
It does. I'm going to put him here. Mika
Cool.
and Corin can both take an attack of opportunity.
Excellent. I'm swinging the great axe at him with
Mr.
advantage
Corin.
still.
Would I get one? I was never engaged with them. The only thing I did was came over and cast protection from good and evil on Mika. I never actually engaged with him. Not
That
to
is
like
no.
undo my own self here, but I don't think that jives.
No, that's a very fair thing to say, and everyone else should shame him for pointing out that he was following the rules.
That's a good point, though.
Yeah, it's true. Opportunity fights. When a hostile creature that you can see moves out of your reach, you don't have to be engaged with them. You just have to be within their range.
Okay, I'll take it.
The attack is with advantage, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn it.
Excellent. 24.
Yeah.
No, 22.
Okay, yeah, I think that hits.
I
Fucking
do
brag
one
about
thing,
it.
okay?
I'm rolling 2d20 then, yes?
2d20s, yep.
And that was a 17 plus what now?
What is your strength check? Or what your strength modifier?
2. So 19.
Okay, so that's 19. Both of you hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. If this
D12 plus a D4 plus 2 plus my strength. Or do I not add my rage bonus for this?
No. You would add your rage bonus for this.
Okay.
It's an attack you make. You are raging. You get it. Oh my gosh.
Well,
If hers doesn't land, I've got Morningstar and a short sword that would like to say hello.
11.
11 points of damage. Okay. What was your damage, sir?
I didn't actually roll for it.
You only do it with your primary weapon hand. So you don't get a bonus action attack on this one. It's just an attack of opportunity. You take as a reaction.
Can I still cast Smite?
I will allow it. He is a fiend, so
we
I
love
believe
smite.
I believe that adds an extra something to fuck with me.
Yeah.
1d8 plus 4 is 5 plus 4 for 9 on the longsword.
Okay, and then as a paladin, when you hit a fiend, I believe you get an additional d8.
I have to do one more spell slot to deal 2d8. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'll
Paladin
roll
spell.
for those. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought that. Oh, wait, no. The damage increases by 1d8 if the target is an undead or a fiend.
Haha.
It's
Oh, I didn't see that either.
so 9 plus whatever you're about to roll with the d8. Math is for
3d8?
Well, hold on. You rolled a 9 with everything that you rolled just then, right? Did you include the first divine smite?
No.
Okay, go ahead and roll 2d8 then.
Right. Plus an additional d8 against the fiend.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm rolling
3d8. Yes.
Now, yes. Okay. All right. Thank you.
I just did the rough minimum on this.
That's a 5,
Okay,
and that's an 8.
Oh,
so that's 17 points of damage.
That
4,
sounds
5,
right.
and 8. 9,
Yep.
17 plus. Okay. Micah, Corin, what are the details of the Balgur's demise?
Yo!
It's trying to run up and escape from you, so go ahead and determine what you guys want to do.
How not to make a mess of a very messy demon. I think we're just gonna have to have a lot of cleanup time. Thankfully, we dispatched him pretty quick, so I'm not. I think as he climbs up, I'd like to cut him across like his side,
Okay,
just to make it absolutely miserable as he's reaching up to
I gotcha.
grab.
I would like to slice for a hamstring or what equivocates to a hamstring on a fiend. Not familiar with fiend anatomy, didn't really take it, but
No
climbing's
worries.
going to be real difficult for this gentleman, and he can fall right back down onto the sword.
As you go ahead and take your longsword, as it burns bright with the sacred oh goodness, I forget what the divine eight are called in this world. It doesn't matter. With divine energy, you strike into the hamstring of this creature and pull it down. It begins to hobble a little bit as it climbs out, trying to get away. You, Mika, enlarged as you are, strike into the side of this thing, and as it reaches once more to pull itself, it rips its own stomach on the blade of your great axe, spilling all of its viscera all over Kerbal.
Oh no!
Enjoy the pinata of meat.
Oh no!
We're gonna need some magic erasers for this one.
Yeah.
As you guys have basically dumped the entire viscera of this creature out onto the floor, it collapses down onto the ground. You can see just kind of the steam rising off of the guts. I'm sorry, people, but it's dead.
We did it.
Yeah, now you gotta clean it up.
I think more than magic erasers, we need the creator himself, Mr. Clean.
I can say, for the sake of brevity, it takes you the better part of a day, and you have to sleep in the house in order to clean up everything. You also have to deal with the fact that this was a demon. You don't know if this was the guy who was causing problems, but the real guy that he's taking the visage of is in a trunk.
I think we should take the body back.
Carry it back with
the
us.
body. Yeah.
We all have the same idea.
Between the barbarian and I think we can probably manhandle it back, like, cask style.
You gotta do like the dancing, like
Yeah.
You guys are able to clean this place up, dispose of the remains, set fire to the body of the demon, and you carry this casket inside of it. There's more than a few travelers who are like, "What are you carrying?" You're like, "Oh, just a dead body," and they're like, "Oh, okay," and they walk away. You return. You can go. All of you are showered in 500 gold each of your winnings. Do you tell Marco that it was a demon inside here, or just that you got the job done?
I feel like, well, I would want to tell him. What do you guys think?
I think he needs to know that we found him dead in the first place, and that someone was impersonating him.
We brought the body back, right?
Yeah.
We carried the trunk of the dead body back. We placed it at his feet. So he's like, "But who did you?" Well,
Yeah.
I guess we could have just been like, "We got him."
No, I think just in case it has underlying implications, like, hey, the guy that you thought was really bad, it wasn't actually him. Somebody was just using his image to do really bad shit. He was dead in a trunk, like Mad Eye Moody, even though Mad Eye wasn't dead.
Yeah, full notes and details are being scribed down in my reports back to my house. So
excellent.
We should probably tell him, because my best friend probably saw.
Yeah, those windows from the top, I'm sure he saw and heard things.
And we're definitely going to tell him that we encountered an owl, and I'd like to leave out that we talked to it. So
okay.
That's just mine. That there was an owl that followed us. We're going to assume that it probably saw in the tree. We saw it in the tree before everything went down, but
he reacts to your message in the following ways. To hearing that it was a demon, he thinks, I suppose it's possible that he was causing up war talk as the visage of the demon. But to what end? Do we know? Were you able to find out? Why would a demon have interest in war?
We didn't have a lot of time to talk to him before we...
Understood. Curious. He said, when you mentioned the owl, he says, "Oh, that's strange. You can never tell with animals. They have their own will about them and go about their own day, I suppose. Maybe it's an omen. Or maybe it's the watchful eye of some god. Hard to say."
Probably not the second.
Well, regardless, you've done good work for the Dark Lanterns. You can consider yourselves all members at this point. And I suppose that would make the special requisitional stock available to you as well. You are going to have access to any common magical item. All of them are 50 gold pieces, and you can go ahead in your own time shop at your pleasure. But I'm going to go ahead and say that ends our Oh, actually, hang on. Before we get to the end of our episode, that evening, Abra, as you're falling asleep in the same place that you started 2 days ago, where things are drastically different, 2 days ago when they were very, very much the norm for you. I'm trying to say this correctly, but it's coming out wrong. Anyway, You return back to the room, which 2 days ago was just a normal bed for you. Now it's just where you hang out before you go on missions for the Dark Lanterns. As you're kind of sitting in bed, you begin to hear some scratching into the side of the room. And as you look over, you can see a pair of yellow eyes open up and say, "Hello. We have much to discuss." And that's where we're going to go ahead and end the episode. Thank you to Corporate Streams for putting us on the internet. You can go ahead and check them out at corporatestreams.com for all your streaming needs. Thank you for Cantrip Maps, who now has a website up at www.cantripmaps.com. They're selling all this awesome stuff. If you liked what we've done for the last couple episodes and going to keep doing, check them out. It's awesome work. Did you guys have fun?
Oh,
That was-
yeah.
We killed Barl Gura. So hard to say.
I had another trick up my sleeve. I was really looking forward to using. I hadn't gotten to use this trick yet. But,
What for the kids at home? What were you going to end up using?
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to go ahead and throw a roll out there to use my divine channel divinity, and I wanted to go ahead and try and turn the unholy against a wisdom saving throw, I think. Which would have turned the fiend, and we would have allowed, in my mind, us to bind him up and perhaps interrogate him a little bit. But
Well, we will, trust me, you will get the opportunity to use it against a fiend or an unholy creature at some point in the future. Believe you and me. We are going to be taking a break for a week. We might release, and we're going to go ahead and take a week break just so that I can go ahead and get caught up with some information. Sorry, take a break. We've been going hard, and the DM needs to rest. We'll
Paperwork.
keep, paperwork as well. I have to do all those receipts for all the magic items I just give out to people. But
make sure those tax forms are up to date. They'll get you for those.
Yeah, no kidding. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching, and hold for the freeze frame. Is that it? It's done.